No better present on this beautiful Friday in Raleigh than opening day of college baseball. And here at Doak Field at Dale Park, the number 10 ranked NC State Wolfpack, fresh off a trip to the College World Series, they host the Evansville Aces to begin the 2022 season. Alongside Brett Kinnaman, I'm Evan Budrovich. Great crowd on hand here in Raleigh. They're excited for expectations, a team picked high in the ACC coming into the year, and a program that wants to live up to last year's great potential all the way to Omaha.
Absolutely. I think there's so much excitement around the program right now with the way last year was and new facilities on their way. So it'll be exciting for this new team to get started today.
This new team, very new offensively. Only 20% of its returning hitters. They do feature two seniors, Devontae Brown in the outfield, JT Jarrett in the infield. What do those two bring to the table?
Just a lot of leadership. I'm sure Coach Avent's comforted to be able to have them in the lineup every day, and they were so big for the team last year in the postseason. So it'll be exciting to see those guys play this year.
Those are two key pieces offensively. Countering for Evansville, who's picked 7th in the Missouri Valley, and they feature a tremendous power hitter in the middle of this lineup. Tanner Craig, a team-high 12 home runs, an all-conference output player at first base. What does he bring to the table?
Yeah, his power was very evident today in BP, so it'll be exciting to see him match up with Sam Heifel today.
I love the talk of seniors to start the 2022 season. Of course, for NC State, they ride a tremendous arm in Sam Heifel. Gets the ball for his first start. 9 wins last year, and his first pitch of the season misses inside.
Yeah, Sam was so good for NC State at the end of last season, so it'll be fun to see him throw this year.
9 wins, which led this rotation. And more importantly, he had quality starts, 5 or more innings in 9 of his last 10 starts.
Yeah, he's such a cool customer. It was so fun to watch him pitch last postseason.
Second pitch of the ball game's flight out to left, and our first look at LeJames Groover, the Charlotte transfer, making the first play. A lot of new faces in this NC State lineup defensively. You lose a catcher, a shortstop, and a center fielder to the MLB draft. The depth of this team comes on the mound, and it begins with Heifel.
Absolutely. I think it's nice to be able to ride those guys that have a lot of experience on the mound.
We'll see Heifel and Villeman the rest of the weekend. Also, of course, Matt Willitson tomorrow. There's a first pitch attack from Brett Witter, the second baseman. And able to make the catch, Tommy White, the brand new freshman from Florida, calling it off and showing off the hair.
Yeah, I know they're super excited about him. It'll be fun to see him play this season.
Part of a young lineup for NC State, taking on an Evansville offense. They could really produce 100 doubles last year, nearly 50 home runs for Coach Carroll's club. And it starts with the middle of this lineup, Evan Berkey, the transfer from Cal State Bakersfield. Year 14 for Wes Carroll. He was an Evansville grad. Such a neat story. Grew up in the Evansville area, and he loves how this offense will look to develop and carry this team here in 22. Heifel with 2 quick outs early. He's a strike thrower.
Yeah, he's really riding the fastball here early, just getting ahead of hitters and hopefully having a quick inning.
Fresh off a trip to the Collegiate Summer National Team, playing around the Carolinas this summer. He wants a 1-2-3 inning and is 1 pitch away from doing so.
It'll be interesting to see how often Sam goes to his other arm slot today. He likes to go back and forth, and varies game to game how much he uses one or the other.
Last time Heifel took the bump, 7 innings scoreless against Vanderbilt back in June. Here's the 1-2 to Berkey. And the inning continues.
Yeah, the mayor of Apex came alive after that back-to-back games with Vanderbilt.
The mayor of Apex, 9 wins in the spring. His first extended season as a full-time starter. Took the whole fall to recover, get his body back in shape, and he looks sharp in this first inning. Closing out the first with a punch-out of Berkey. 1-2-3 for Heifel in his debut. And we'll get a look at the NC State offense when we come back here from Raleigh. Well, all the equipment works. We're good. Let's get out of here.
Wow.
Your first look at the NC State offense here in Raleigh, a club that hit 286 last year. A lot of new faces in the heart of this lineup, including some huge transfers out of Charlotte, LeJames Groover and Dominic Poali, hoping to benefit this top 4 early for LA Naven.
Yeah, it's always exciting to get new faces in. Coach Hart does such a good job with the hitters, so it'll be cool to see those guys get to work today.
All this offense has to fill the shoes is 102 doubles and 92 home runs in 2021. No easy task for Devontae Brown in this offense to lead things off. The ace of Evansville and the preseason pitcher of the year in the Missouri Valley, Shane Gray. He's up for this moment and ready for big-time competition.
Yeah, this will be a tough matchup for the Wolfpack, so it'll be fun to watch.
Gray started his year last season against Georgia. 6 innings of scoreless baseball. His team won the opening game of the season down in Athens. And head coach Wes Carroll saying Gray is unafraid of the challenge tonight. And works ahead with a breaking ball to Devontae Brown. What should folks expect from Devontae trying to find those power numbers even more here in his final season?
I think it'll be just a comfortability thing for Devontae, having been here for so long. I think he'll just be comfortable and look to have a good year.
Had the breakout year in 20 shortened due to COVID. Followed that up with big-time power numbers in 21 as he stays alive. Of course, Brown's coming out party was in regional play and postseason play. Hit over 300 in the month of June, which makes the offseason even tougher, maybe bigger motivation for the fifth-year senior.
Yeah, he had that big grand slam in the regional final.
First miss of the game for Shane Gray, who has a unique story. Of course, Gray working with a brand new pitching coach. Kearse Kimball took over the job in January, a former volunteer assistant sliding into the pitching staff. And this will be a big strength for Evansville this year. Added depth in the rotation.
Good job there by Devontae battling off that 2-strike breaking ball.
You look at this lineup for NC State. Brown had the 6th highest average from last year's team. The top 5 are on the MLB draft, looking to pursue their careers professionally. So a brand new offense, and Brown spoils another. Shane Gray last year 6-3, but he's got a tough environment to face today. Hundreds of fans packed on the hill early on in left field. Now Gray wants a strikeout. And he gets it. Brown goes around for the first out. There's the Purple Aces faithful, having some noise early in this first inning.
As we were told before the game, it looks like he'll lean pretty heavily on that slider along with his 92, 94 fastball.
What challenge does that present for these hitters of NC State?
It's challenging, you know, early in the year sometimes it's tough to have timing, and when you got a guy out there that's going to throw 92, 94 and have a 10-mile-an-hour difference with the breaking ball, it presents a lot of challenges for hitters.
Evan Gray faces LeJames Groover. Grooves one out to right center. That is caught at the warning track. Schallenberger tracks it down. LeJames Groover wasted no time, but better defense from Evansville.
Yeah, great play there by the right fielder.
Brett, you're very familiar with these outfield grounds. That's not an easy play in the gap.
No, right field is tough here. You feel like you go over your right shoulder and you just never stop running. So that's a really good play to make a good read on that and get there quick.
We talked about Christmas morning to begin the season. Maybe the first gift for Shane Gray working with 2 quick outs. No easy task here third. Tommy White, who was ranked the 2nd best recruit in the whole state of Florida. And there's a lot of good high school baseball from St. Pete Beach, Florida. Smacks one out to center. Rumsey still moving back, and in his first career at bat, a home run for Tommy White.
Coach Hart mentioned before the game that he might be the best incoming freshman hitter he's had in a long time, and wasted no time getting to it there.
The high school All-American takes advantage for his first dinger.
Fastball a little elevated in the zone. He got his hands there quick, and the wind's blowing out here a little bit today, so I'm sure he got a little help from that, but he really got into that one.
Dead center field for Tommy White. That is infectious energy from the true freshman.
That's awesome. It's always exciting to get off to a good start, especially as a freshman playing in his first college game.
All it takes is 2 pitches in his career to send one over the park. That was the challenge for Shane Gray coming in. His home run numbers are elevated on the road. Think about last year non-conference play, a 1.5 ERA, but a rough start here in the first. As that clips the corner to Dominic Palali. Hit .403 as a freshman All-American last year. Standout prospect. We've seen early, Brett, an adjustment from this NC State offense against that wicked slider from Gray.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of breaking balls early and doing a good job of laying off the ones out of the zone.
Ones in the zone get whacked towards the bullpen. Palali started 27 games last year at Charlotte before a season-ending injury on May 1st. One of the best freshmen in Conference USA this past spring. Gray makes a nice play off the rubber, and after giving up the home run, gets out of the jam. So NC State's offense, we mentioned who's going to fill those voids, leaning on Tommy White early for a 1-0 lead. Yes. I mean, you look here, his last 3 starts, home runs, home runs, home runs, giving up.
Yeah. Maybe that's the fastball up thing that he was telling us before the game.
I mean, that ball's...
Yeah.
As you look at the freshman shortstop, Peyton Green, this NC State defense was spectacular last year. A .982 fielding percentage, top 10 in the country. Some big shoes to fill, replacing Jose Torres at that shortstop spot. Groover and Brown provide some excellent speed in the outfield, and we'll touch on it with Cozart behind the plate. The combination of freshman at catcher and at shortstop, that's very rare in a college baseball team.
Absolutely.
What is the big challenge for his staff? You implement this new lineup across the diamond and try to find that rhythm behind Heifel.
Yeah, I think it's hard. You got guys playing in places where they aren't used to sometimes, and just kind of getting that rhythm with everybody together.
After an 8-pitch first inning, Heifel works the count even to Eric Roberts, the DH. 22 starts last year at Hamilton, Ohio. This Evansville offense lost its top 2 home run hitters from the spring, but bring good production across the board, averaging 6 runs a game. See the numbers last year. Hit over 300 with men in scoring position. That was Roberts' strength as he leads off the second all by his lonesome. Challenging with a fastball. This will be popped up. Looks like Jarrett can't find it. And it falls all the way to the warning track, and that's a ground rule double. Lost it in the clouds on this Friday afternoon. And what could have been a triple for Eric Roberts is a stand-up two.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't really expect anything like that. There's a decent amount of clouds in the sky, but it looked like he kind of just missed that.
So watch Jarrett at second base. He has no idea. And then in right field, Noah Souls is coming in to help out, and the ball all of a sudden lands on the warning track.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Like I said, it doesn't seem like anybody would lose it today, but tough skies.
Rain in the morning. It's been windy all day, but certainly not that much wind.
You wouldn't think, no.
So Roberts with his first extra base hit of the season. Now can Evansville tie this thing up in the second? As Tanner Craig, the power threat, takes ball one.
Yeah, this will be a fun matchup to watch today between Tanner and Sam Highfill.
12 home runs for Craig. Led this Evansville offense last year. The only player with double-figure home runs. That's a filthy breaking ball. And we talked about the steady Eddie mentality of Highfill. That was on full display.
Absolutely. It's interesting. He's going fastball predominantly to most of these hitters and goes breaking ball to start Craig.
Tanner Craig, second team All-Missouri Valley in the spring. Now trying to cash in. Roberts with the leadoff double. It's off the end of the bat. Brown with a late read, but finds it and makes the catch. It's interesting early, Brett. The wind has shifted from dead center, now more in and towards left, even just from batting practice till now.
Yeah. Hey, we talked before the game. You can kind of make hay here early in the season with the way the wind blows out to left center field, so it'll be interesting to see if that has any impact on the offense today.
A deep breath for Highfill, knowing his team sported to a one-run lead on the solo shot from Tommy White. Now he faces Mark Schallenberger, who made a fantastic catch a few minutes back in right field. Highfill grooves in a fastball. Some good umph on it for strike one.
Yeah, Sam's fastball looks good early.
Schallenberger had some strikeout woes, team high 45 punch outs. But when he put the ball in play, 9 doubles, 5 home runs, has some power. Speaking of which, Tommy White says, hold my drink. He's been hit one 400 plus to dead center in the first.
Yeah, what a way to start off your college career.
And the Oakley shades really make a difference. I tell you what. Look at those sunglasses.
Last time I was here, he had a big chain too.
That's a very Eric Burns-like look out there at first base. Top 5 prospect in the state of Florida coming out of high school for IMG Academy. It's odd with some of these COVID year classifications, but Highfill, as a second-year freshman, was maybe one of the best pitchers in the ACC at the end of the season and carried State to that run to Omaha.
Absolutely, yeah. Towards the back half of the regular season and through the postseason, he was really good.
As Schallenberger pokes it foul. Remember, Highfill was a two-way recruit, both a hitter and a pitcher, and that was on full display in the final game NC State played up in Omaha. Had a couple of hits and was productive in the lineup.
Yeah, it was. He took a lot of BP last fall too. So I always thought he had a good swing and got a couple knocks against one of the better pitchers in the country.
You think of programs like Stanford that are known for letting pitchers hit and be part of the lineup to throw off opposing scouting reports, as Highfill grooves in a fastball for his second strikeout. What'd you see there from the pitch sequencing to throw off Schallenberger?
I think Sam's doing a really good job of elevating his fastball enough that it's tough on these hitters. It looks like he's got pretty good velocity on the fastball today, and he's throwing it up high enough in the zone where guys are having trouble getting to it.
Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sam Highfill on the Golden Spikes Award watch list, one of the top 50 players in the country entering the year. And Brendan Horde, the Kentucky transfer, goes right after the first pitch. Played just one game in 2 years, did Horde at Kentucky. Slides down and up the state. Has to replace Ben Kamenowski, the starting catcher from last year, who had 100 starts in his career. I love the power of Horde. Led the team in home runs in the fall. And he takes strike 2.
Yeah, it looked like he was all over that first fastball.
As a pitcher, how do you play that mental game when a hitter is on your fastball?
I think sometimes it's almost like reverse psychology. Like Sam just did, you come back with a fastball right there, and when the guy's probably looking for a breaking ball. But it'll be interesting to see what he does here.
After a leadoff double, Heifel wants to get out of this jam and waits one more pitch.
Yeah, Sam's just living up in the top of the zone right now with the fastball.
4 games with 7 or more Ks last year in his freshman season. Now Heifel inherits the ace role for this staff. And after giving up a leadoff double, wasn't necessarily his fault. But now some work to do on Brendan Horde. Off the glove of the catcher Cozart. And an easy third base for Eric Roberts. That's the tying run with 2 outs. Fitting, we mentioned entering the inning about a true freshman at catcher and at shortstop, and plays a little bit of a factor there.
Absolutely. Guys getting their feet underneath them for the opening day. Little pregame or little first game nerves.
Over the glove of Heifel. Here's Jarrett. And the senior makes a nice play to keep this a 1-0 ball game. So following the leadoff double, Evansville strands the tying run at third. The Wolfpack come to the plate with Josh Hood when we return. Yeah, we get a lot of like engineering majors and bio majors that want to work for the crew, because they just want money.
Yeah.
They do a good job. It's just different. Oh, I love that baby pouch right there. The kangaroo look.
The bike chain and the massive sunglasses. I think he's got like a Bojangles NIL deal right now, too.
Oh. Perfect. Let's do second base, Brent Witter. This matchup features 2 really good defensive teams. We noted State at a .982 fielding percentage. The Evansville Aces led the Missouri Valley in fielding last year, led by that double play tandem of Sherry and Witter up the middle.
Yeah, it's nice to have 2 guys up the middle you can trust to turn double plays and make things easy for your pitching staff.
And what's fitting this morning, Witter and Sherry had a competition in the hotel lobby. Who was the better basketball player? Not who could turn more double plays, but who had the better hoops career in high school.
Comforting to have 2 good athletes up the middle like that.
Both split the duties at short and second last year. And NC State offensive would love to cause some trouble for that defense. Here's Josh Hood. 41 starts in 2019. In the Ivy League, of course, they did not play this past spring. So his first action in over 2 full years. Talk about the jitters of a college baseball player. That's a long time to wait for your moment. And he immediately smacks the 1-0 to right center field. That's a nice start as it rolls to the wall. And a leadoff extra base hit for Josh Hood in his NC State debut.
Really nice job using the opposite field right there. And much like Tommy White, what a good way to start your NC State career.
Timing is everything in life, and he timed this fastball well.
Yeah, he did a really good job, that fastball low and away, and just, hit it where it's pitched and put it out there in the gap.
Brett, how relaxing is it for an offensive player? Your debut, you wait 2 years for this moment. to step up and contribute right away.
Yeah, you always think you get a hit in your first at bat on opening day, you're going to hit 700, and you don't, you hit 0-0. So it's always good to get that first one out of the way.
Leadoff double for Josh Hood. Now Jacob Cozart, the true freshman, behind the plate, takes ball one. Cozart out of High Point, North Carolina. Of course, his family is well decorated in the baseball community. Both his dad and his mom played college sports at UCF. And Cozart delivers a base hit. Late break at second for Josh Hood, so runners hold there. And back-to-back base hits for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, good job by Hood not making sure he didn't get doubled up on that line drive, but looking good for NC State to start the second here.
We talked about the jitters of opening day. Certainly the middle of this lineup, White, a freshman, Hood, his first action at State, and Cozart, 3 hard-hit baseballs early.
Yeah, you got to love to see that. I'm sure Coach Evan is happy to see that those guys were channeling those nerves in a good way.
You go from the nerves of a freshman to a pitcher here in Shane Gray, who was nearly untouchable in non-conference play last year, getting himself into some trouble early against JT Jarrett. 150 games in his career. This is nothing new for the middle infield standout. Now, when you flip in a breaking ball like that, it's a whole different equation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he leans more on that breaking ball now that these guys seem to have timed up the fastball pretty good.
142 starts for JT. 10 multi-hit games, so can hit in bunches in the bottom of this Wolfpack lineup. Gray fires a fastball over, and that's an early test for Craig over there at first base. The last thing you want to do on the road against a top 10 team is give away runs with mistakes.
Absolutely.
Craig's 0-1 is tipped foul.
Good breaking ball there from Craig.
Shane Gray, who was the ace of this staff last year, finished 3rd in the Missouri Valley in ERA. He was an innings eater, too. 8 starts with 5 or more innings, but in some trouble here in the second. Back-to-back hits for the Wolfpack. Now JT Jarrett awaits the 0-2. And he hangs on to poke it through the glove of the shortstop for a base hit. That brings in Josh Hood, and a 2-0 start for NC State on what looks to be an infield single by Jarrett.
Yeah, really good job on a tough pitch there. A really hard play for the shortstop. Pretty good effort. But, yeah, it's just a really good job of going down and getting that breaking ball.
That's Simon Sherry, the sophomore at short. I'll wait for the official ruling, but I believe that'll be a base hit and an RBI. Although if you ask Sherry, he'd love to have this one back.
Yeah, being at home, I'm sure that'll be a hit for JT.
6-1, half dozen the other if you're scoring at home. We'll give you the update here in a moment. Noah Souls checks in. So it is ruled an infield hit for the moment. A lot of that has to do with how the pitcher escapes the inning. It's the unique aspect of baseball that I never fully understand, but it does make it interesting. So 2 on, nobody out for Souls, who started 7 games last year. And you talk about stepping up at a moment's notice in Omaha in a breakout winner-go-home game. Got the start.
Yeah, Noah did a good job last year of stepping in and having good at-bats when asked. So it'll be exciting to see him have a bigger role this year.
Slides into the right field spot here tonight. Gray's 1-1. Nibbles the outside corner. That's a strike call by Greg Street working behind the plate. Ryan Clark, Kevin Sweeney joined the party, and Steve Sanders around the bases today. First ever meeting, NC State and Evansville. That's a 10.5-hour bus ride, nearly 500 miles of work. It's a long trip. Gray induces a pop-up, shallow left field. Borgstrom comes in, and the shortstop, Sherry, makes the play. Well, that's a good response by the sophomore captain.
Absolutely. Now he's one pitch away, get a ground ball here, and he can get out of this inning.
This is the bottom of the order for NC State. 9-hole hitter Peyton Green checks in.
Another exciting freshman that I know NC State is happy to see out there on opening day.
Back-to-back years, freshman shortstops earning that position day one. It's high accolades for Peyton. And he lays off a slider.
Yeah, it feels like there's a new shortstop that's really good every year at NC State, so it's exciting to see Peyton step into those shoes.
Local prospect, attended Green Hope High School in Cary and ranked the number 8 overall prospect in the state. And gets a steady diet of breaking balls from Shane Gray.
Yeah, really good job of laying off both of those. Should set himself up to see a good pitch here.
That's what shows maturity from a young hitter. Your first at-bat, first ever start. And Shane Gray, who's the preseason pitcher of the year in Missouri Valley. That's no joke of a conference. Having some trouble in this second inning. 3 hits allowed and the run given up.
It's a good swing there by Peyton Green.
Shane Gray, who was so outstanding in the first 4 months, but in his final month, 2 losses, gave up 6 home runs. He had a tough end to the season, but Coach Wes Carroll loves his demeanor on the bump. Now can he dial up a good 2-1 pitch to Peyton Green? Boy, does he ever off the knob of the bat. That is fantastic timing. Brett, there's something in our business about broadcasters' jinxes or bringing something into motion there. And boy, Peyton Green gave him a bailout with that foul ball.
Sure did.
So 3 straight hits to start the inning. Now on 2-2. That dives into the dirt. Good stop by Horde behind the plate. And in danger of walking the bases full before the top of the lineup.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes fastball here or tries to get Peyton to chase a breaking ball.
Shane Gray had a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio last year. He's a strike thrower. And as Coach Wes Carroll says, he has pretty darn good control of his fastball. He leans on the slider that time. And a walk issued his first free pass, sends Green over to first.
Good breaking ball there, and just a really good at bat there by Peyton Green.
Well, what introduction to Raleigh if you're this Evansville pitching staff. Club last year, ERA above 5 as a rotation. And now the top of this NC State lineup looks to add on to a 2-0 lead with Devontae Brown.
I always felt as a hitter on opening day I was anxious and wanted to swing at the first good pitch I got. And it's interesting to see these NC State hitters having some really good discipline early.
Now leaning on the senior Devontae Brown. Double-figure hits, home runs, and doubles last year. Now that was a cupcake down the middle. I don't know as a hitter if I can take that given the control issues.
It's always hard.
In
retrospect, you're like, man, I wish I swung at that. But likely, probably predetermined he was going to take that pitch or something along those lines.
That is a juicy looking fastball as Brown wants to extend this big time lead. And he just missed that heater. It's 0-2.
Yeah, you take that first one that's right there, and then you just miss the second one because you're probably a little upset that you took the first one and it just kind of piles up on you.
That's what makes this game difficult at all levels. 56 starts last year for Devontae Brown. More impressively, 15 multi-hit games. And following a strikeout in the first inning, he faces an 0-2 count here with one gone by. It's a good spoil pitch there to fight it off. Shane Gray now at 35 pitches in this game. An Evansville staff that has more bullpen depth than ever before, but challenged with starting rotation to work deep into games.
Yeah, you don't probably expect your starter to go super deep on opening day being so early in the season, but you'd like to get, into the middle innings. So it'll be interesting to see how Shane Gray settles in.
Another 0-2 is taken a bit inside. You heard this crowd on opening day go, oh my gosh, thank goodness that was ball 1 as the at-bat continues for Brown.
Yeah, that would seem like a good pitch by Shane Gray. Probably could have gone either way there.
Gray last season, nearly 80 strikeouts. He was a strike thrower. 6-3 record, second team all Missouri Valley. Another slider poked foul. Good work by Coach Hart over at third base. He's ready for it early.
He's always making plays over there. He's got good hands.
Leads this offense that had 100 doubles and nearly 100 home runs. That's not a number you see very often in college baseball. Of course, 6 of those key contributors now at the next level of minor league baseball, with big shoes to fill for this offense. Another 1-2 to Brown. Goes all the way to the backstop. Everyone stays put wisely as the count evens. How does Shane Gray keep his level-headedness here and avoid some mishaps like we just saw?
I think just keep trusting that breaking ball. It looks like he's got really good feel for it, both in the zone and just out of the zone. So just keep trusting that thing and trying to make good pitches.
3 hits and a walk issued in this inning, so the bases are loaded for Devontae Brown. Of course, Brown's biggest swing last year was a go-ahead grand slam in the Super Regionals. He knows this moment. The mental game between 2 seniors in their debut final season. There's a lot going on right here at the plate. Brown pokes one fair into the corner, and that's an extra base hit. Might clear them all. Struggling as Borgstrom as the ball kicks away, and a chance for 3. Devontae Brown's in there with a triple, clearing the bases for a 5-0 lead.
Good job there with 2 strikes.
And what an ideal start for this NC State offense.
Yeah, it's just a really good piece of 2-strike hitting there. Like we said, Shane Gray's leaning on that breaking ball, and it really was a good pitch. Devontae just did a good job going down to get it.
So Devontae Brown says, I had 0 triples in 2021. Let me add to the party with my first triple and a second at-bat.
Yeah, get the first triple all the way on opening day.
This inning has started to unfold for Shane Gray, and you see Kearse Kimball there exiting the pitching coach with his meeting. It's a tough start for an Evansville team that needed quality starting pitching today to set the tone for the weekend.
Yeah, you just have the hope that he can, settle in now and get you through a couple more innings, and then get to your next guy in the bullpen.
So Brown with the bases clearing triple. Not sure what that ball hit in the outfield. It was hard to tell on the replay, but it really gave Borgstrom some trouble.
Sometimes in left field, that wall down the side there will kick the ball out into shallow right and makes it challenging for left fielders.
So here's LeJames Groover, who had no trouble hitting the baseball last year at Charlotte. He lays off a good breaking ball for strike 1. There's that wall you're talking about.
Yeah, those little pads that stick out there sometimes can cause some problems.
It definitely gave Borgstrom some problems, and what could have been a double turned into an easy triple for Devontae Brown. James Groover III. Boy, was he spectacular last year at Charlotte. 2021 Conference USA All-Freshman team. And he hit a team best .351 for a regional appearing team in Charlotte. Bit out in front of that swing, so it's 1-2. Shane Gray nearing 50 pitches here in this second inning alone. Needs to get out of trouble. Calls on a breaking ball. It's slapped into the gap for another base hit. Groover cashes in Brown, and the Charlotte transfer jogs into second with the 3rd extra base hit of the inning.
Yeah, James did a really good job there. I think that breaking ball was a little bit left up by Shane Gray, but just did a good job staying on it and keeping it in right center. Yeah, just a really good job of just staying with that thing and going to right center. Sometimes we try to do too much as hitters and hit a ground ball to third on the pitch like that, but really good job there by LeJames.
I know for sure LeJames II and LaSonia watching this game must be loving the presence of Groover moving across the state from Charlotte to Raleigh, and there's his first impact moment for NC State. So here's the home run hitting, confidence oozing player at the plate, Tommy White. I don't have the TrackMan numbers just yet, but that was at least 420 to dead center, if not more.
Yeah, that thing hit about halfway up the batter's eye.
That is 240 pounds of meat, potatoes, and power at the plate for the All-American out of high school from IMG Academy. That's a good pickoff move to second. Groover just got back. Shane Gray has allowed 5 runs, 5 hits in this inning. And a nice breaking ball to even up the count. Coach Wes Carroll mentioned Shane Gray's ability to go out and compete against anyone in the country. It may not have gone well early on, but that confidence continues to remain.
Absolutely. He's still coming at these guys with, fastball, breaking ball, and attacking these guys in the zone.
After giving up a home run to White his first time, it's a steady diet of breaking balls. Tommy White participated in the Under Armour All-American competition at a high school. He won the Home Run Derby championship. We saw a big part of that in the first inning.
Not surprising after seeing that first at bat.
Gosh, his second pitch of his career. That's a nice way to start your NC State career. 2-1, way up and inside. So Tommy White is already facing the arsenal of pitches you'd see for a 4th, 5th-year senior, with high inside fastballs, some good breaking balls. He's shown some patience early. Shane Gray needs to dial in on 3-1, and does just that with a filthy slider.
It's a really good pitch. Sometimes it's tough. You get that first at bat out of your way, and now Tommy's probably very excited and just got to stay within himself here and base hit ball 4.
Evansville already thinking about life beyond Shane Gray. Action in the pen early. This will be a tough task, forcing a lot of arms. Donovan Schultz warming up. He was a former starter in the midweek last year for Coach Wes Carroll. Now on 3-2, White goes down swinging. That's a big second punch out for Shane Gray.
Yeah, Shane Gray's just doing a really good job of staying with that breaking ball and getting it past these young hitters.
So White 1 for 2 to start his day, and there's LeJames Groover, who doubled early in the inning. Already 3 extra base hits for the Wolfpack. A great start offensively. And Polali lays off the fastball. We've seen a lack of control from that heater early for Gray, who's had some trouble up in the zone with that fastball.
Yeah, he seems like when he's keeping it down, he's been successful, but he struggled to keep it out of the top of the zone early on here.
There's a line drive to center. The freshman Rumsey turns towards the wall, and no doubt about it, a 2-run shot for Polali in his NC State debut. The rout is on in Raleigh.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. Got up there in the dope stream and got out of here quick.
Waited 2 years for this moment, transferring down to NC State out of the Ivy League, and he makes it count in the second inning.
Yeah, I'm sure that thing caught a little bit more of the plate than Shane Gray would have liked, and just a good job there by Polali.
Boy, the power production from Charlotte has been huge for NC State. Think of Groover with the double, now Polali on the home run. And that's the second big fly surrendered by Shane Gray early in this game. Now weak contact from Josh Hood. And that retires the side. NC State with 7 runs in the second inning. They're up by a touchdown on the 2-point conversion.
I'm waiting for my pitcher.
Yeah.
Sure. What a windy afternoon here in Raleigh. At NC State's offense takes advantage. 2 early home runs, and really with James Gruber joining the party with a double, this offense has had no trouble early.
Absolutely. They've been doing a good job, too. They've been taking the ball to right center a good bit. Wind's blowing out to left center, but been using all parts of the field.
NC State ranked 6th in the country in total home runs last year, only trailing Arkansas. 92 dingers. Off to a nice start with 2 home runs early. And now Sam Heifel faces 8-9-1 in this Evansville lineup. Big swing and a miss there from Danny Borgstrom, the left fielder. What a great atmosphere today. Season opener.
Yeah, I can't remember my years playing here having this many fans on opening day, so it's just exciting to see this many people out here.
Season ticket numbers are on an all-time high as well. You're thinking more in the concourse, but really powering with an 8-0 start. There's something about playing well when your fans are in attendance, and Wolfpack have answered the call.
Yeah, it's a whole lot easier to play when the stands are packed, too.
Soft roller over to second. JT Jarrett, a busy man today, and he makes another putout. Remember, his play last inning saved a run, and that would have tied the game at 1. Granted, their offense has picked up since, but that's always important early.
Absolutely.
So Ty Rumsey, the uber-talented freshman from Evansville, born and raised in the city, went to North High School, and he takes strike 1. Coach Wes Carroll was gleaming, oozing with confidence with us this week, talking about landing Rumsey, who had multiple offers to bigger programs and elected to stay home to play with Evansville. It's a big boost for any program when you can bring in an impact freshman like Rumsey.
Absolutely. Hopefully he can get the Evansville offense going here.
He was ranked 8th according to D1 Baseball as impact freshman in the conference in the Missouri Valley. Of course, the likes of Dallas Baptist, Indiana State, tournament teams from last year. That's the goal for this Evansville team here in 22. Their last tournament appearance, you have to go back 8 years, 2014, a Missouri Valley Championship. That's the goal for Wes Carroll's club. As Rumsey pops one up towards the corner. Hood has room, and in front of the Army makes the catch. Now that is Jamie Carroll, his brother, part of the staff, and a big leaguer who joined the staff for the first year, former Pittsburgh Pirate among many in his organization. And with those brother tandems back together, it's a neat dynamic here in Evansville.
Yeah, that's so cool, brothers getting to work together and those guys getting to learn from somebody with so much big league experience.
Both played for Evansville, grew up within 10 miles of the ballpark. It's a whole unique story for this program. And for Jamie to return to the team as the director of player personnel, nothing better than adding major league experience to nurture some of these young players. There's a line drive to Hood, who's ready for it. And Simon Sherry sure got all of that ball, but nice defense from NC State.
Yeah, tough luck there from Simon.
Sam Heifel, 3 scoreless innings in his debut. Let's see what his offense can pick up next. Next inning. But yeah, feel free to, Brett, definitely you can jump in where you want and talk about stuff too. It doesn't have to be me just asking you stuff, because I don't want to feel like you have to wait for me to, you know.
Yeah. Hiding back there.
Welcome back to Doak Field at Dale Park. NC State's offense, 2 home runs early here at home, and the Wolfpack with an 8-0 lead. They're 18-7 in season openers under that man right there in the middle. Elliot Avent, 926 wins. He's one of 8 active coaches with 1,000 career victories, and maybe the expectations as high as in the last decade for NC State coming into this year.
Absolutely, he does such a good job, and you know, it's just such a good coach for these guys to get to play for every day.
So Jacob Cozart spoils that last pitch.
Yeah, Shane Gray getting ahead early here. Hopefully he can settle in and have a quick inning.
Cozart, one of the many freshmen that Elliot Avent brought to this program. 13 freshmen, 8 transfers. And that's what makes this team scary. We talked about the 6 new faces in the lineup. Well, it's players that have proven early that they can produce at a high level.
Yeah, they always have a knack for finding these young freshmen that can just step in and play right away, and these guys are certainly fitting that bill.
Reminds me of a Brett Kinnaman back in 2016, part of the all-freshman team. As Hood pokes one to left center. That's caught. Borgstrom tracks it down. And I tell you, that pool cue shot had some oomph on it out to left field.
It did. That was a good play by left fielder, getting on route quick there.
With the wind traveling well out to left field today, we saw the 2 home runs, and clearly outfielders will be tested.
Yeah. The luxury of left field, though, you get it up in the air and it's over your head, it's likely a home run. So not so bad in left.
Speaking from a power hitter yourself, took advantage a time or 2. That's grooved in for a strike. So these are big innings for Shane Gray. Gives up 7 runs on 6 hits in the second. Evansville desperately needs some quality innings from the ace of the staff today. Jarrett skies one to shallow right. There's Schallenberger. A much easier catch than his first time around.
This is just what they needed out of Shane Gray. He's doing a really good job here.
What have you noticed from Gray in this inning versus the opening 2?
I think he's just doing a better job of commanding that fastball. As Coach Carroll told you pregame, he really has strength in commanding that fastball, and he struggled with it early, probably just opening day nerves, but he's really settling in with that fastball command here in the third.
Shane Gray with a team-high 73 strikeouts last year. He hasn't had that type of stuff today. Now he needs some pitchability to get through these innings, as Noah Souls, who popped up his first time, checks in. Here's pitch 60 from Gray. That's dotted pretty well, but a bit low. Noah Soul, some big shoes to fill in the outfield. Yeah, he slaps one towards short. Sherry on his back leg, rips one to first. That's a great way to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 for Shane Gray.
Yeah, good play. Looked like a little slip there in his right foot, but still made a nice throw over first.
Evansville defense on full display here through 3 innings. The Aces pull one out of their sleeve here in the 3rd.
This base project will improve the quality of our training facilities for our Pac-9 players and the overall game day experience for you. If you'd like more information and to explore the facility enhancements, please visit gopac.com/Pac9Stadium. Leading off the top of the 4th inning for the Purple Aces, number 3, Brent Witter.
35 pitches and efficient innings for Sam Heifel.
Yeah, he's working quickly. That'll be interesting to see if he can keep it up.
Preseason All-American, 2 strikeouts and only 1 hit allowed. He's looked comfortable through 3.
Yeah, he's really leaned on that fastball, and you know he's proven that he can beat these guys with fastball breaking ball so far.
So Sam Heifel back to work against the top of this lineup. Brett Witter takes strike 1. So Evansville, this is a big bite out of the apple, down 8-0. What can the Aces do to scratch across a run or 2 here?
Yeah, as hitters, you just got to take it 1 pitch at a time. You can't, score 8 runs in the 4th here. You just got to try to claw away, get a run here, get a run there.
8 runs, a big task. Remember, NC State averaged 8 runs a game last year, and you wonder, well, will that offense translate? 6 new starters, a lot of different pieces, and it's come in bunches today.
Yeah, you come into the season and you know the pitching is going to be really good, and the offense has just been awesome for them today.
Tommy White with that home run in the 2nd got things started. You know what? I'm going to go the Compmore Justin Turner with the hair and the sunglasses. I think that's what we're looking for here.
Yeah, I can buy that.
As Witter sends one high into the sky here in Raleigh. Noah Souls is there for the first out. And that is 9 straight retired by Sam Heifel.
Yeah, that fly ball to right seems a little bit more normal there, so it must have just been a little one-off earlier in the 1st or 2nd inning there.
For the Aces, number 17, Evan
a lot of praise for Tommy White coming in as an impact freshman. Sam Heifel developed himself into a big-time freshman last year, especially in conference play.
Yeah, sometimes it's unfair for those guys to get those crazy expectations, but it's cool to see Tommy come out on opening day and look good on day 1.
We joked at the pregame, 3 straight years NC State's had a hitter with home run stretches to start the year. Luka Tresh, whether it's Devontae Brown of 2 years past. There have been players so hot offensively at home in the first 3 weeks. Maybe Tommy White fills those shoes.
Yeah, he can take advantage of the Doak stream and see if he can make some hay here in the first few weeks of the season.
Evan Berkey takes another strike. He's down 0-2. Led the Bakersfield Roadrunners in home runs last year. Sam Heifel's had none of it. 3 1/3 of 1-hit innings so far. And nearly a strikeout again.
Yeah, really good pitch there. Good job by Cozart, too, behind the plate.
Cozart behind the dish, the son of a baseball coach. Knows a thing or two about helping out his staff. This time Heifel gets the strikeout, his 3rd punch out, that time on the breaking ball.
Yeah, Sam's just doing a really good job keeping these guys off balance. Just mixing in the breaking ball enough to keep them honest.
24, Eric Roberts.
Yeah, that's a good pitch.
Berkey's retired via the punch out for the second time today. I mentioned those strikeout numbers for Heifel. It really all came into play from the month of May on. 4 starts in May with 5 or more strikeouts. Whereas his comfortability, or I guess execution in late counts, elevated here this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of it boils down to confidence. It seemed like Sam just kind of grew with confidence as the year went, and it's a whole lot easier to be successful out there when you feel like you're good.
10 straight wins for NC State. When Heifel was on the mound, he got a lot of those victories in his record, but the team took off when Heifel really started to take over in the month of April.
Yeah, when you've got a guy going out there and you can trust him to go 6, 7 innings, couple runs, it makes it easier for everybody, the offense, the defense, everybody involved. And
his lone bugaboo start was against Wake Forest, but he had 9 strikeouts in sort of a home run hitting affair, 13-7. A little more support from the offense today.
Yeah, Wake Forest is a tough place for a pitcher to pitch. That's the last. If I was a pitcher, that's the last place I'd want to be on the mound at.
After a leadoff double in the second, Sam Heifel has retired Evansville in order up to this point. Now looking for his second straight punch out, and gets his wish granted. The fastball blows it by Eric Roberts to end the top of the 4th. The All-American candidate entering the year looks about like it, rolling through 4 innings.
Football season tickets are all sale now. Visit GoPack.com for more details and to check out the 2022 schedule. Also, fans be sure and mark your calendar for Saturday, April 9th at 1 p.m. for the annual football spring game. Admission is free, and you can get more information at GoPack.com.
NC State rolling at home here in the opener of the college baseball season. An excellent crowd in attendance, people of all different ages enjoying what's been an offensive slugfest for the first 4 innings. Record number of season tickets sold this year for NC State, and the offense has put on a party so far.
Yeah, it's fun for fans to see home runs, and the offense is doing a good job so far.
9-hole hitter Peyton Green gets things started. Now, if I'm Elliot Avon, I would argue you got to put Green in the 8th spot to match the number, but that's just me as a baseball fan. Here with Brett Kinnaman, former NC State standout, Evan Budrovich with you on ACC Network Extra. First ever meeting between these clubs as Green skies one towards second. Witter, the seniors, all over it, and there's the first out. 5 straight retired now by Shane Gray.
Yeah, Shane Gray's really getting into it. And limiting the amount of arms they got to go to today on Friday night.
One note last year about Evansville, they finished a game over 500, but in a weekend series, there were 4-game weekends in the Missouri Valley, and Coach Carroll said our arms were decimated at the end of the year. It's a unique aspect going back to 3-game series.
Yeah, you mentioned that these guys' numbers lagging towards the end of the year. I can imagine the 4-game series had a lot to do with that.
Devontae Brown hits a missile over to Sherry. He's been very strong at shortstop. So while the score's 8-0, this is a positive sign for Evansville. Good pitching and defense early.
Yeah, Shortstop makes a good play. As we talked about earlier, this middle infield is really good for Evansville.
They led the Missouri Valley in fielding percentage last year. A Missouri Valley Conference, 2 teams in a regional. Outside of the Power 5, only 5 conferences have done that. And Dallas Baptist was within a game, maybe even an inning of beating Virginia to go to Omaha.
Yeah, Dallas Baptist is probably a few outs away from going to Omaha, so just a really good conference.
Dallas Baptist, the preseason favorites coming into the year, along with Bradley and Evansville. Sorry, SIU Edwardsville, some of the favorites. Evansville picks 7th in the preseason poll. Hot shot to third. Berkey's all over it. Nice defense all around the infield for Evansville. And a 1-2-3 inning for Shane Gray. So we go to the 5th. Evansville flashing the leather here in Raleigh.
Since 2006, the North Carolina Education Lottery has raised over $8.5 billion for education. Here's to all the bright futures across our state. Those dollars are helping our students' dreams come true.
There is a ton of optimism around this NC State program. 13 true freshmen, maybe none better and more prolific than the number 2 ranked prospect out of Florida in Tommy White.
Yeah, Tommy's got the chain out now. He's feeling good after that first AB home run.
Oh wait, did he just bring the chain out? I didn't notice that.
That's the first that I've seen it outside of the jersey all game. Yeah.
So following a home run, it is first career at bat. You pop the chain. We have some great pictures we'll show you throughout the year of White at Media Day, showing off some personality. He is a big-time addition. Shoes to fill of a 92 home run club from last year. Already 2 dingers for the Wolfpack today, and Sam Heifel wastes no time against Tanner Craig. Craig led this team in home runs and doubles last year. He ripped one to center his first time up.
Yeah, Sam had success against Tanner Craig with breaking balls in his first at bat, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes at him here.
Heifel on pitch 50. Lays off on the breaking ball. Very efficient for Sam Heifel through 4 innings. That's a good sign as a freshman arm comes off big innings last year, 90 innings plus, looking to find his rhythm today.
Yeah, he hasn't gone to that sidearm slot at all. It seems like it's usually a need-to basis, so that's good for Sam.
Little dribbler that White plays perfectly up the line. And that's some smart fielding from the freshman first baseman.
Yeah, sometimes those are really tough. You can kind of look silly on ground balls like that. So nice job by Tommy there.
Looks comfortable over at first base. He played a lot of third in high school down in Florida, making the adjustment quite nicely. Sam Heifel, meanwhile, remember, gave up the double in the 2nd inning. He's retired now 10 straight since that moment.
Yeah, Sam seems to look like he's building off of how he finished the season last year.
He's allowed a double that wasn't even really his fault. It was lost in the sun here in right field. So Mark Schallenberger, who was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd, digs in. Schallenberger, they call him the weight room champion. You see those guns at the plate. He has the best deadlift and bench press of any player on the team. Sam Heifel, two-way prospect who's dealing on the mound today. 5 innings, gives up a deep drive into right that comes back to earth. And there's Noah Souls for the second out.
I'm not sure if that was a changeup or not, but it looked like Schallenberger was just a touch out in front of that. It was really close to getting into that one.
You can see Schallenberger off the edge of his bat could drive a ball pretty far. Imagine when he makes good contact.
Yeah.
Good adjustment from Noah Souls, too. He had some trouble on that Roberts fly ball in the second. Seemed to be reading it a lot better as the game moves on. Brendan Horde takes a ball outside. Played 1 game in 2 seasons at Kentucky, transferring across the state to Indiana here for Evansville. The Evansville Aces 11-hour bus ride going down from Indiana through Kentucky, across to Asheville, over through the Carolinas. Maybe one of the most scenic drives of any team.
Yeah, very much so. Tough way to start the year, though. Hop off the bus after 11 hours and play your first game of the season.
And face an All-American in Sam Heifel, who gives up a base hit. There's Horn into the corner. Groover has some trouble with it. So a stand-up double for Brendan Horde, second hit of the game for Evansville.
Yeah, nice job there. Hitting a mistake. That's one of the first times this afternoon that Sam seemed to miss a spot out over the middle of the plate, and Horde made him pay for it. Tough
play for Groover, trying to make that on the move. It's interesting, LeJames Groover started at 5 different positions for Charlotte last year. We've had questions coming into the season. What outfield spot will Groover play? And looks to find his comfort out there in left.
Yeah, it's nice to know you can have a guy that can play a lot of different places.
Started on the infield multiple games at Charlotte, a freshman all-conference standout. Boy, what a nice changeup to start to Borgstrom.
Yeah, Sam seems to be mixing that changeup in for the first time all day. Now that he's a few times through the order.
Maybe a 2-out rally coming here for Evansville. Yet to score in this game. They've had chances back in the second and now here in the 5th. The Aces last year, and this was a bugaboo for this offense, worst in the Missouri Valley hitting with runners in scoring position. It was a big point of emphasis for Wes Carroll coming into year 14 with this program. Heifel on 0-2. Extends the inning.
Yeah, sometimes as hitters you put pressure on yourselves with guys in scoring position, but we don't always realize there's a ton of pressure on the pitcher too. So it's sometimes just the hitters relaxing and not trying to do too much.
One strength of this Evansville offense, they led the conference in getting hit by pitches. But Heifel's dialed in. He's had no trouble finding the zone. And on 1-2 goes to the breaking ball. It's popped up to right. Souls comes in and makes the catch. So the Aces strand another in scoring position. Sam Heifel with 5 scoreless in his season debut. The Wolfpack lead by 8.
Fans, don't forget to stop by the concession stands and grab a hamburger, slice of pizza, ballpark snacks, and ice cold Coca-Cola products. Also, alcohol sales are back in Goatfield this season and can be purchased through the end of the 7th inning.
beautiful afternoon and slates up for a great weekend here in Raleigh. Evansville and NC State meet tomorrow at 2 o'clock, featuring Nick Smith and Matt Willitson. Then on Sunday, getaway day for the Aces, looking to salvage the series. Shane Harris against David Harrison. Good start times, middle of the day, great crowd on hand. And with weather like this all weekend, we're in for a show here in Raleigh. Speaking of shows, here's Tommy White, who homered his first time up. Smacks the first pitch to dead center, and are you kidding me? His second career home run.
Yeah, he's wasting no time making himself a place in Raleigh.
One of the top-ranked prospects in the country, wasting no time in his debut.
Shane Gray got him with a couple breaking balls last at-bat, so I'm sure he was ready to get on that first fastball he saw.
Might need 8 chains to keep this hitter in the box. What a powerful swing.
Yeah, the chain can't come any more out of the jersey, but we'll see if Tommy has any more swag at first base next inning.
There are impressive debuts, and then there's the power distributed by Tommy White. 2 balls that are at least 420, if not more, in his first game ever. Here's another big swing. Piali sends it deep to right, and that's off the scoreboard. Back-to-back home runs by Dominic Piali.
Wow, talk about production from your 3-4 hitters on opening day. 4 home runs out of Tommy White and Piali to start the season.
New faces going to the same places. Home runs aplenty. That's 4 for NC State.
Those guys are wasting no time getting on those first pitch fastballs. Just another fastball from Shane Gray there that just catches a little bit too much of the plate. And, probably a little too elevated, and Piali did a really nice job.
A career high 4 home runs surrendered by Shane Gray. So Evansville goes to the bullpen. And this tremendous NC State crowd has had a lot to celebrate in the first 5 innings. We'll take a quick break. Introduce you to the new pitcher for the Aces when we come back. So new arm, Donovan Schultz, comes out of the bullpen. 14 outings last year, a long reliever for new pitching coach Kearse Kimball in year 1 with the staff. After sloughing back-to-back home runs, Shane Gray's day is done, and here comes Donovan Schultz. Here's a swing by Hood. Oh my gosh, this has a chance to left field, and at the wall, Borgstrom makes the catch.
Yeah, just caught that thing a little bit off the end of the bat, but almost back-to-back home runs right there.
That's something you don't see every day, especially the first day of the college baseball season.
And I believe back-to-back first pitch fastballs too. These guys are going to get it.
Not a bad swing by Josh Hood, who's now 1 for 3. And what, maybe an hour earlier that leaves the park? Winds were howling earlier today with a 3 o'clock start. Things get difficult here for Schultz out of the pen. He faces Jacob Cozart. That's nubbed to first. Nice response. 2 quick outs out of the pen.
Yeah, Schultz is doing a good job. It's always tough when you've got a righty and then you see a lefty. It's just a little bit of a different wrinkle. So it'll be interesting to see how the NC State hitters can adjust.
One area of strength for Evansville is the amount of arms in the bullpen. That was a big point for Coach Carroll, revamping his entire bullpen, brought in 10 new arms via transfer or freshman. Schultz's job is keeping this game within striking distance. 10-0 NC State on 4 home runs.
You still like to see your guys come out of the bullpen and have a good first outing of the year, so it's good for them to see Schultz throwing well here early.
Schultz was the Sunday starter for most of the season last year, but with the presence and the breakout effort of Shane Harris coming off injury, now in the Sunday spot, and Nick Smith, who was a midweek starter, moving to the Saturday role, it's an added piece of depth to have a starter now out of the pen.
Yeah, it's got to be comforting for a coach to know he's got a solid arm to go to in the middle of the games that he's trusted on the weekends in the past years.
2-1 pitch. That is drilled by JT Jarrett. This has a chance and off the wall. Extra base chance for Jarrett. He's got to hustle, and he's in there safely with a double. Second hit of the ball game for JT Jarrett.
Yeah, just not quite enough height on that one to get a home run, but good swing there by JT. Yeah, these guys are just doing a really good job getting the fastballs up in the zone. I'm not sure if these Evansville pitchers are trying to elevate fastballs, but NC State hitters are doing a good job getting up there and getting those things.
So after being retired 9 straight by Shane Gray, the Wolfpack say hold up in the 5th. 2 home runs and now a double. Donovan Schultz goes back to work and nibbles to Noah Souls. Souls 0 for 2 so far. Looking to kickstart this offense in the 8th spot.
Good pitch there. Just painting the outside corner.
Ten runs on 10 hits for NC State. What a way to kickstart their offense here on a perfect Friday night at Doak Field. Stop there by Ward behind the plate.
Yeah, you never know how your hitters are going to come out on opening day with timing and all that different stuff. So it's got to be exciting to see hitters looking this comfortable early.
We mentioned State's offense in the top 10 in home runs last year. They're also in the top 3rd in the ACC in scoring. Put a lot of pressure on their opponents. The 2-1 is poked to short. Busy day for Sherry over there at the shortstop position. Makes another play, and it ends the inning. So we go to the 6th. It's the Tommy White party here in Raleigh. 2 home runs. The Wolfpack lead by 10.
We want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our NC State grounds crew, presented by Eastern Turf Maintenance. Thank you for making our field game day beautiful. From the stadium to your backyard, they're helping happy grow. Be sure and visit etnlawncare.com to get your own game day beautiful lawn. And don't forget home run t-shirts sponsored by Wolfpack Outfitters are coming your way every time the pack hits a home run.
Opening day for the grounds crew as well, making this ballpark look lock and loaded here at Doak Field at Dale Park. The advantage of having all natural surface, it makes for a picture-perfect infield. Give them credit. With some rain last night, early in the morning, this place looks spectacular. Here with Brett Kinnaman, I'm Evan Budrovich on ACC Network Extra. Look at that sunset shot, killing it with our high home cam today. Got to appreciate our crew covering you all season long here on the network. Ty Rumsey, the true freshman in his debut, takes ball one. Lined out to third his first time up. Now gives up a base hit in the right. The debut single for Ty Rumsey. That's the name we'll be saying for years at Evansville, and his first base hit.
Yeah, Ty Rumsey's had 2 good at-bats to start it off here. I know they were excited about him coming into this one, so easy to see why.
Highest ranked recruit for Evansville this offseason. Club that entered its fair share of freshmen. 9 freshmen and 8 sophomores on this team. Here's Simon Sherry, the shortstop who's played both infield positions last year. Now the mainstay at the shortstop spot. And the biggest growth for him will be at the plate this year because he was really good defensively.
Yeah, he's made some really nice plays at shortstop today.
Question is, this Evansville team needs some offense. Only 3 hits so far. And a changeup flips in for a strike.
Sam's really leaning on that changeup a little bit more the now 3rd time through the order.
Only 67 pitches for Heifel here in 5 innings plus. I wonder if this will be his last frame and his very first start. There's a breaking ball that really fooled Sherry as he fights it off. Coming off a 93-inning season for Sam Heifel, plus innings of work for the collegiate national team this past summer. This would seem to be the right threshold for Coach Avent. Go 6 innings, maybe 75, 80 pitches, and call it a day.
Yeah, you think you get through pretty low stress, 5, 6 innings here, and then turn it over to your bullpen and trust them to take care of the rest of the game.
Heifel mentioned in the media this week his role as a captain, as a leader in the fall, because he did not throw a single pitch. It was all about training and building his body back to this point.
Yeah, I think just him being around those young guys and them seeing his work ethic and stuff has probably paid dividends for them growing and hopefully being able to contribute to the pitching staff this spring.
Heifel has grown into the ace, filling some big shoes with Reed Johnston, who did a lot of the work on Fridays last year. Nearly his 5th strikeout, and the count works full to Simon Sherry. Heifel, 4 strikeouts, no walks today. That mirrors his numbers from the spring. He finished with a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. I don't care who you're facing, that's pretty darn good. Here on 3-2, forces contact.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch. Good job there to stay alive.
What's the ceiling for Sam Heifel? Obviously a preseason All-American, rated as one of the best players in the country coming in the year. What could he achieve this year on the mound?
I think he can just do about just about anything. Like I said, I think his confidence is, as of last year, is really high, so it'll be fun to watch.
Gives up a line drive to left that sends Groover to the wall, and he has just enough room to make the catch. A lot harder contact this 3rd time around from Evansville.
Yeah, these guys seem like they're seeing it well. Sam's still making good pitches, but these guys are really timing it up and looking like pretty comfortable in the box.
Now batting for the Purple Aces, number 30, Brent Witter.
So Groover gets set to face Witter now, who's 0 for 2. A couple of lineouts today. Brent Witter over 100 starts in his Evansville career, a mainstay on the infield. And he takes strike 1. Even despite giving up some hard hit balls, we've seen Heifel attack the zone. His first strike percentage is at nearly 80%.
Yeah, it's going to be successful most days when it's like that.
Here's a line drive from Witter that goes all the way to the gap and has the wall written all over it. A chance to cash in. Rumsey, who gets the turnaround 3rd. Jarrett hangs on to the baseball and now gets away. So the first run for Evansville and extra bases for Brent Witter.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting there from Witter.
Looks like Evansville has some props they want to pull out of the dugout for that RBI base hit, and this is the first real sign of trouble for Heifel.
Yeah, really good job. That thing is probably off the plate a little bit and just takes it that way and puts it out there in the right center.
Gotta love the speed for Ty Rumsey, scoring his first career run. So Heifel now at 73 pitches, and here comes the NC State pitching staff. Action is ready in the pen just in case. I believe that's Baker Nelson warming up, the Fuquay Arena product. You ever been to Aviator down there in Fuquay?
I have, yeah. That place is really cool.
Oh my gosh, the wings are fantastic. They have a new pizza joint down there, by the way.
Yeah, they have like 3 or 4 different places kind of across the street from one another, right?
And Baker Nelson, the pride of Fuquay, Harnett Central High School, hard thrower from the right side.
Yeah, Baker did really well at the beginning of last year. Unfortunately, had a tough injury. I think had to miss most of the rest of the season, but I'm sure he'll be excited to get back out on the mound.
Very simple conversation here with Coach Chrysler, 4th season running the pitching staff. He did some wonders at Winthrop the last decade and has brought that confidence to this year's pitching staff.
Yeah, Coach Chrysler does a really good job. Being around him last year was cool to see him breathe his confidence into those guys and just that staff growing all spring.
And that was what made NC State a dangerous team down the stretch. It was maybe 6 or 7 arms, but that group of pitchers was fantastic in the last month. Evan Berkey attacks the first pitch. Grover turns towards the wall, and a 2-run shot by Berkey. His first home run for Evansville, and a 3-run spot here in the 6th.
Yeah, nice job there. That fastball that Sam left out over the middle of the plate. And Berkey didn't need any help from the wind on that one. He really got into that one.
Blasted 8 home runs for Bakersfield last year. Moves across the country and gets his first for Evansville.
Yeah, it's good to see, I'm sure, for Coach Carroll that his hitters are sticking in there and having good at-bats. Even as State's kind of pulled away from this thing a little bit, but those guys are doing a good job of keeping them in it.
We mentioned this park is hitter-friendly early in the year. That's the 5th home run between these two clubs, 4 for NC State, and now Evan Berkey joins the party. Eric Roberts rolls one off his foot. It's never a fun place to do it. How important is it for Sam Heifel here to finish out this inning and get through? It's been a tough 6th.
Yeah, you'd like to see him, go out on his own terms. So hopefully he can make some good pitches here and get out of this inning on his own.
And Golden Spikes Award watch list. That's one of the top 30 to 40 players in the country just announced this week. Faces an Evansville offense that can score in bunches, 7 runs a game last year. And boy, have they found their rhythm as Eric Roberts smacked one off his front boot.
Yeah, that's never fun. Always wish you had a foot guard on whenever you do that.
You can see the pain that Roberts is holding on. The Hamilton, Ohio product who redshirted in 20, only played a handful of games in 19. So this is his 2nd big season. And rips a base hit off the glove of Tommy White. He'll hold it first, but that's 3 hard hit baseballs in a row from Evansville.
Yeah, they're just doing a really good job. They're seeing everything well and just staying on some high fill mistakes here in the 6th.
Look how close White was this time.
Yeah, look, he tipped off the top of his glove there.
Tommy White, the freshman All-American at a high school, almost had that. And it looks like Clint Chrysler's made his decision. Sam Heifel at 77 pitches. This would seem about the time to go to the pen in the 7-run game.
Yeah, nice job by Sam today, and be cool to see NC State's bullpen get to work.
So Heifel's afternoon is over. 5 quality innings, but had a tough time here in the 6th. So Baker Nelson comes in out of the pen. Fuquay Arena's finest. The mayor of Apex, Sam Heifel, finishes out his day. 5 1/3 innings of work. So he gets a round of applause from his NC State fan base. Heifel's day is done here in Raleigh.
Number 22, Baker Nelson.
Sam Heifel's day is done. 5 1/3 innings, a great start. Battled his way through his opening start.
Yeah, you'd love to see him be able to get out of that on his own, but just a good start from Sam to start the year.
4 strikeouts, did not allow a run until the 6th inning. He was cruising early in this game.
Yeah, like he was very much dependent on his fastball early. He got the mix in the breaking ball and changeup as it went, but he did a nice job today.
So Heifel exits 5 1/3, and then comes Baker Nelson. This is his 36th career outing in what is now 4 full years for the redshirt junior. Faces the most potent power threat in Tanner Craig. Takes a slider outside.
Yeah, Baker has a really good breaking ball, so it'll be cool to see him utilize that a lot today.
Notice only 4 outings last year. He was a huge part of the 2019 bullpen. 28 innings. Now a much more trusted option here with a 7-run lead. And Tanner Craig is no hitter you can pitch one over the plate. 12 home runs and nearly 50 RBI last year.
Yeah, you bring in your breaking ball guy to face a good hitter like this, and he's done a good job of laying off the first 2.
Roberts over at first. Here's the 2-0. And grooves one in for strike 1.
And you got to think that's probably an auto take right there, but you probably want that one back.
Tanner Craig, not only the home run numbers, but heated up at the right time. 4th in program history with 30 career home runs. And now a base hit to it. That's his first of the day. And all of a sudden in the 6th inning, Evansville can't miss a barrel.
Yeah, both these teams are just doing a really good job today of taking these outside fastballs and peppering them the other way.
So Baker Nelson, work cut out for him in this inning. You notice players checking the new and improved wrist guards, not the full coated combinations of years past, but kind of a unique way now with headsets and ability to talk to pitchers and catchers to really signal in those calls.
Yeah, apparently they have a new thing this year where you can type in a number and I guess it shoots it out to the pitcher and the catcher, so it'll be cool to see if that speeds the game up or how it helps.
And both coaches mentioned coming into the year the value of that as, wow, Clint Chrysler with a quick move to the bullpen. So Nelson had one job and he could not accomplish it for the moment. So now a left-hander coming in out of this NC State bullpen. We'll take the timeout as the Wolfpack look to hang on to this 7-run lead.
for the Wolfpack, number 43, John Moravia.
NC State goes deeper into the bullpen here in the sixth. John Moravia, who threw 4 outings, kind of unique. His outings were against North Carolina in the ACC tournament and a super regional. That was half of his appearances. And now the left-hander from Charlotte enters in all of a sudden a tight game here in the sixth.
Yeah, John actually had some good outings at the end of last year in his limited appearances, but I've heard that he had some improvements this offseason, so it'll be exciting to see him pitch.
The crazy fact about Moravia, all 4 of his outings were against NCAA tournament teams. Now, those are scattered appearances across the year, and it just ends up being against 4 of the top 60 teams in the country. Evansville would love that fact to ring true today. A team that was picked 7th in the Missouri Valley. Good offensive club, and they're showing it in this 6th inning, forcing Heifel out of the game, and Baker Nelson gives up a base hit. And Schallenberger smokes one out of play.
Yeah, ready for that left-on-left breaking ball. First pitch.
Schallenberger with a sharp line drive his last time up. Looks for his first hit of the season. Had 5 home runs last year. Now the 0-1. Now that's a filthy slider.
Yeah, that's tough. As a left-handed hitter, you get back-to-back breaking balls, both out on the outside part of the plate. Not sure what you're going to get here with 2 strikes.
Bottom third of this Evansville lineup, down 7. Remember, the inning started with a leadoff single from Ty Rumsey. Not the hardest hit ball in the world, but it leads to a couple extra base hits, a home run for Evan Berkey. Now Evansville has found some confidence. On 1-2, the breaking ball. Does he go? Seems to not be the case.
Doing a good job of laying off those breaking balls. It'll be interesting to see if Moravia challenges him with a fastball here. He keeps going to the breaking ball.
Schallenberger has strikeout woes, 45 punch outs last year, and added to that total back in the 2nd inning. There's a swing and a miss. Moravia with the strikeout. It's his first out of the pen for a big 2nd out.
Yeah, nice job there. Really good feel for that breaking ball. Looks like he got it just where he wanted it. Kozar was set up out over the outside part of the plate, and he threw it there.
Wants a new baseball as well after that punch out. His first career strikeout was on March 2nd of last year against Campbell. Now he needs one big strikeout against Brendan Horde, who doubled his last time up. All of a sudden, Evansville with 7 hits. This offense has come alive here late.
Yeah, these guys are doing a good job of putting that bats together and getting guys on base.
Horde takes a hanging breaking ball for strike 1. Eric Roberts' single forced Heifel out of the game. Now it's up to the bullpen from here. And Horde's down 0-2.
He's got really good feel for that breaking ball right now.
Brendan Horde, a 2-time All-Academic selection in the SEC, but playing his first full year as a starter. Here's a transfer to Evansville. Would love a breakout moment in what could quickly become a tight ball game here in the 6th. Instead, a 3-pitch punch out. Moravia ends the 6th inning with a backwards K. So Evansville strikes for 3, and the NC State bullpen keeps it that way with this punch out. We go to the bottom of the 6th here on ACC Network Extra.
Questions during your visit to Doak Field at GAME1, please find the nearest NC State event staff member located along the concourse. Don't forget, if you are in need of medical attention, stop by the UNC Arts Healthcare table on the third base side.
Now this is a picture-perfect day in Raleigh, North Carolina. NC State leads 10-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Opening day and opening offense all across the board for the Wolfpack. Bullpen arms trying to keep this game close for Evansville. There's a strike from Donovan Schultz, who got out of a jam last inning. Now faces 9-1-2 in this Wolfpack lineup. Green smacks one to center, and that's his first hit. The freshman might want to, sprinting out of the box, and Green is in with a double.
Wow, he really can run. I didn't think that would be a double off the bat, but did a really good job of getting around first quick and getting out there to second base. Yeah, watch that. Just kind of gliding down the line and got into there good on a leadoff double.
Brett, you were blessed with some speed, maybe not that fast, but at what point do you make the decision to go for 2 right away?
I think you just kind of get to a point where you have a feel for it when you get out of the box. I don't know if if that happens at some point in your career, but you just kind of get that feel. As soon as you can see everything right out of the box, you've got a good idea.
First career double for Peyton Green, right down the road in Cary. And Devontae Brown lays off a breaking ball. We talk about shutdown innings for pitching staffs. This could be a shut the game and put it away if you're NC State responding after a 3-run frame.
Yeah, you'd like to try to get at least 1 or 2 of those back, and obviously anything over top is icing on the cake.
Icing on the birthday cake of the opening day in college baseball. First home run this morning in the baseball world was hit at 10:32 down in Conway, South Carolina. And here about 3:12. Boy, Tommy White absolutely smoked one in the first inning. He followed it up with another home run a few innings later. And Brown wanted to add another here at just after 4:50.
Yeah, nice job there. Schultz getting that thing just above Devontae's barrel. Got it by him.
Brown tripled in the second. He's 1 for 3 today. Schultz nibbling well, but he can't get the call there from Gregory Street, so the count's 3-1.
Yeah, you got to think with first base open here, Devontae's looking for 1 pitch and 1 pitch only.
Green with the leadoff double. Brown searches for his first RBI and takes strike 2, which is a hitter. Now I'm thinking, well, the 2-1 was called a ball in the same spot. Gets the call there on 3-1. There's a lot going through your mind at the plate.
Yeah, it's tough. You tend to expand the zone when stuff like that happens. So it'll be important for Devontae to stay within himself right here.
Here's the payoff pitch. Brown forks it away. Devontae Brown, one of the 2 senior pieces to return for his final season. We talk a lot about the 6 key starters that went to the draft. Brown electing to come back and now leading this offense at the top of the order. Can he set the table here on 3 and 2 and takes a walk? So on for the second time today. NC State 2 on with nobody out.
Nice job there laying off that 3-2. It kind of looked like it might have been a changeup or something a little bit different. So good job by Devontae to lay off there and get the first.
Oddly enough, and this is early in this season, only 2 walks for NC State at the plate. They are typically a team that puts the ball in play, and they've taken advantage of a free pass there. It's a busy stat line for LeJames Groover III in his first start at NC State, the Charlotte transfer. And he ripped a double as part of that 7-run second inning. Groover ranked second on the team last year for Charlotte, 18 multi-hit games, just over 50 contests. He had a stretch in the month of April where he had 10 hits and 13 at-bats. Had his average as high as 422 at one point in April.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling when you're 10 for 13. It doesn't feel like you're seeing baseballs anymore. You're seeing something a whole lot bigger.
Maybe not those Brett Kinnaman numbers in the month of February in this ballpark, but what a nice start in the freshman season for Mr. Groover, who does everything but swing. And wow, it is called a strike. So the count 1-2.
Tough pitch there. Really good breaking ball by Schultz.
Not sure if we have time for the replay there, but I didn't see the bat move. It's just everything else but the bat here.
Yeah, that's so tough. I think sometimes the location of that pitch just makes it really hard for, that's really, really close. I think it's just hard when it's in there, down and in like that, for a guy to hold off on it.
The body attempted to swing. I'm just not sure if the hands went around. But it is called strike 2. Schultz needs a strikeout after giving up 2 runners on early.
I think he might have just blocked that with his bare hand.
That's going to hurt in the morning for Mr. Horde behind the plate. Transfer from Kentucky. That after a 12-and-a-half-hour bus ride with a tough stop in Cookeville, Tennessee. The food was delivered a bit late, so the team had to hold up and wait on their way over. Nonetheless, this Evansville team, they had 4 wins against tournament foes of the NCAA last year. They're ready for this moment. And Schultz gives up a line drive to left. That's caught by Borgstrom and the first out.
Yeah.
What a nice start for Tommy White in his debut.
Yeah, he's just doing a good job of being aggressive on fastballs up in the zone and taking advantage of fastballs that are being left out of his plate.
2 home runs, first 3 at-bats for Tommy White, and both were moonshots to center.
Yeah, you can't make that start up for an NC State career.
Keep an eye, folks, at home. He had the gold chain his last time up. Keeps it this time. A confident hitter. Needs to fill some big shoes in terms of power. Evan Edwards, Luca Tresh, players of that ilk that could really swing the bat for power. And Tommy White doing his part with 2 solo home runs. Schultz needs to be careful on 1-0 and gives up a base hit. This might score Green, who sprints around third. The throw is cut off and an RBI base hit. The Tommy White show continues. 3 hits, 3 runs batted in.
Yeah, all the kid does is hit. It's a good job there. Not a moonshot off the batter's eye, but an RBI single nonetheless. It's a really good pitch actually by Schultz, getting that fastball in on him, but Tommy did a good job there.
So White continues a breakout debut. And now the bullpen warms up actively for Evansville. This is a tough spot if you're Coach Wes Carroll. There's Garrett Presco, the right-hander from Missouri, warming up. We talk about impact transfers making their presence felt. Dominic Palali, he wasted no time in the 6th inning. A rocket to center field for a home run. And Palali takes strike 1. '92 home runs last year for NC State. If you multiply 4 home runs a game, they're on pace for 200 home runs this year. Maybe a bit ambitious in the opening day of the season. But nonetheless, the power approach of the plate has been there for NC State.
Absolutely. You love to see that. I think NC State always does a good job of having guys that can hit doubles and home runs, but 208 might be hard to live up to, but maybe they can get close.
Palali, the Charlotte transfer, who hit .403 before going down with an injury back in May. He was an excellent hitter, including, which is rather fitting, a 3-for-5 game against NC State.
Yeah, it's good to have him on this side then.
Joined by former NC State Wolfpack player Brett Kinnaman. I'm Evan Budrovich. Wolfpack respond with a run after giving up 3 in the top of the 6th. Sam Heifel exits 5 1/3 innings of work. And Schultz, trying to nibble the corner, works the count full. Remember, Donovan Schultz, the former Sunday starter for Evansville, a team that finished a game over 500 last year, 28-27. First winning record in 5 years for the Aces. And with runners off, that's fought out of play.
Yeah, Schultz is tough on lefties and righties right now. He's getting fastballs into right-handers, into left-handers. He's making it pretty challenging on these NC State hitters.
I tell you, this time of night with the sun setting, with a great crowd in attendance, and 2 offenses that have come to play, we are in for a treat the rest of this series. Evansville and NC State, first ever matchup. Palali goes down swinging, and Schultz with his first punch out. Check that note card. It says throw hard and throw inside.
Yeah, he just beat him right there with the fastball.
That after Shane Gray gave up a home run to Palali a few innings ago. That forced the starter out of the game. Here's Schultz ever since. And with 2 outs, Josh Hood looks to extend the inning. This might end it. Pop up on the infield. Everyone comes in for it. Oh, and Schultz lost 2. That's an infield base hit. It scores a run, and it turns into a double for Josh Hood.
Yeah, that thing was up there.
A lot of communication going on. Schultz called for it, and he can't make the play.
Yeah, you'd love to see your third baseman take over there and try to call that one off, but Schultz saw he had a beat on it. Unfortunately, he did not.
Putting a pitcher in a tough spot if you're Evansville defensively. And that's where you wonder if, right, so Berkey, transfer, brand new player to the program, finding that chemistry on a pop fly that you practice 100 times in January, it gets tested on a windy day here to start the season.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that seems very routine when you're just playing inter squads and playing each other, but you get out there against another team for the first time, and that kind of stuff is a little tricky.
So no action in the Evansville bullpen. This is Schultz's inning to complete. Which honestly, Brett, these next 3 innings for Evansville could shape the rest of the series if Schultz can give quality innings.
Absolutely. On Friday nights, you obviously want to go out and win that first game of the series, but if not, at the least you want to try to limit the amount of arms you use and give yourself a chance to win the next 2 days.
This sets the stage for Jacob Cozart, who singled in his debut appearance. Cozart rips one to right center. That is down for extra bases, cashing in a couple of runs. And the standout freshman continues, this time with a double to extend the lead.
Yeah, this exciting freshman class is looking really good for NC State on opening day. A little left-on-left breaking ball right here. Did a good job getting his hands inside of that thing. And I've been impressed with all these guys, their ability to run, too. These guys are getting into second base pretty good.
Jacob Cozart with his first career double. Doubles aplenty for the Wolfpack today. 5 doubles, 4 home runs, and a triple. Doing about everything right.
Yeah. This is a dreamy offensive start for NC State.
So Evansville goes to the bullpen. No answer for the NC State offense. 2 touchdowns so far. We'll have more when we come back here in the 6th. The song is rather fitting for this offense. The war inside me. 6 doubles, 1 triple, 4 home runs.
Power clinic today. Got to be awesome for these guys to not only hit home runs on opening day, 2 of these guys got 2 home runs on opening day.
Dominic Palali and Tommy White, 4 combined home runs. And fresh faces are on fire offensively for NC State. So JT Jarrett says, well, what about me? Single and a double so far at the plate. He had 10 multi-hit games last year. Gets his first in the opening day of the season.
Yeah, JT was about a foot away from having a home run himself in his last at-bat.
Jarrett, one of the 2 seniors electing to return for his final season. Only 20% of the offense, hits, runs, RBI, things of that nature, return. Brown and Jarrett were a huge part of that. And Presco hits Jarrett. So he's on, 2 on with 2 out in an all of a sudden explosive 6th inning.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. It looked like he caught him right in the side of the helmet there.
Garrett Presco losing the fastball here.
Just kind of skimmed off the side of his helmet there, so it looks like he'll probably be okay.
The padding in those helmets now is incredible. You could take a nap in those things.
You really could.
Very comfortable.
It's got to be similar to a space helmet.
And they're also so airtight now, kind of like motorcycle helmets, that it fits comfortably and you feel nice and safe as Souls pops one up. This will drift out of play. Now the fans are in full flight. A lot of people in attendance, but that was not a catch. And you got to go 2 hands there in the seats. Can't go 1 hand, sun in your face. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a glove person, but I'm definitely going to go 2 hands if I'm going to catch a foul ball at a baseball game.
Great shot by our crew. They're even critiquing the play after the fact. That's a good fan base right there. Record set for season tickets. And Souls fights it off again. And we talked about it in the pregame, Brett. There's a lot of nerve and energy. You're ranked 10th in the country if you're NC State. You want to play well early, and the offense has provided a treat here on a Friday.
Yeah, you like to get out to a good start. You never know really what's going to happen on opening day, but I'm sure it's good for these guys to be able to see all their hard work come to fruition on opening day.
Not sure Elliott Avent drew up 14 runs in his team's debut, but they'll take it. Now the 0-2 from Presco stays in the dirt. This has been a story for NC State the last 4 years. You think of offensive starts. Now the record last year was not great to start the year, but offensively this team has been in the top 10 in home runs for the last 5 years. They've had an ability to start strong offensively.
Yeah, I think it's paid it to Coach Hart and those guys for doing a good job, but the hitters always seem like they're ready to go early in the year.
Very patient as well at the plate. Wolfpack have drawn 2 walks. They've been hit by 2 pitches. More impressively, and this is a crazy stat, 8 hits with runners in scoring position, and we're only in the 6th inning.
Yeah, that's a recipe for success. Hopefully they can continue to do that throughout the year.
On the shoulders of Noah Souls, the right fielder, who on cue sprays one towards left. Borgstrom sprints in and makes the catch. That's not an easy play.
Yeah, nice play.
And it retires the side after NC State scores 4 more runs. You wanted some offense on a Friday afternoon. You came to the right place here in Raleigh. So number 3, Devontae Brown, he's the leadoff hitter for the Wolfpack. You see the number up top, 3 for 6. This offense for the Wolfpack has hit with men on. They've hit with 2 outs. They've really done it across the board.
Yeah, you can see this is probably the difference in the game so far is getting guys on base and being able to knock them in.
Evansville scored 3 in the 6th, but that's been it. And fitting for Devontae Brown. We love numbers matching up. 3 hits in the leadoff spot, 3 RBI to start off this order. John Moralia, who closed out the last inning, begins the 7th. Another question for NC State this year. The starting and front end of the rotation were excellent, especially come tournament time. But where is the depth of the bullpen? How do they find enough options to get through a full season?
Yeah, you relied so heavily on Evan Justice last year down the stretch, and hopefully somebody like John Moralia or, you've got Chris Villeman back there. So somebody will hopefully step up and fill that role.
Moralia is auditioning his part as he pounds a strike into Danny Borgstrom, the 8-hole hitter for Evansville. Borgstrom started 43 games last year. Big piece of the outfield. We've seen him run around the ballpark today, and he's down 2-2.
It's a pretty good passer on a left-on-left breaking ball, but Moralia's doing a really good job of landing that thing to left-handed hitters and making it tough on them right now.
It's like a Frisbee with your lab at the park. You just let that thing float up, and it finds its target. Borgstrom love to find a bone and crack one in the center field as he lays off the slider. And with weather like this in the mid-50s, maybe the low 60s, great time to take the dog out on the park. Enjoy some baseball. Opening day of the college season. Borgstrom works out a walk to begin the 7th.
Yeah, nice at bat there. Look, just what Evansville was looking for to start off their inning there.
And nothing makes a dog happier than an evening walk. A little evening walk, some water, bring the poop bag, and you're all set for the rest of the day. You have any pets, Brett?
I don't. Not right now. I'd love to have a dog soon, but
did I convince you to get a pet?
Not yet. I'm not that responsible yet, so hopefully soon.
Alongside former NC State Wolfpack Brett Kinnaman, just got his degree a couple of months ago, in fact. Here's a bunt in front of the play. That's a good one from Rumsey, and the play's made at first. So that moves Borgstrom in a scoring position. Some situational baseball from the Aces.
Yeah, I think it kind of got an unfortunate bounce there. It looked like that bunt might have got stuck on the clay out in front of home plate and probably didn't get out quite as far as he was hoping to.
Always important early in the season, especially for Coach Carroll in year 14 running this program. Because despite the score, right, 14-3, you want to build fundamentals and basics that'll translate to the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's game one. You know, you can't win or lose the College World Series on opening day, so you just want to see guys having good at-bats, pitchers, having good outings. So I think overall they should be happy with what they've gotten here in the last few innings.
You talk about good outings. John Moralia's day is done. 1 inning scoreless, a couple of strikeouts. That man at second's his responsibility, but his day is done as the Wolfpack go to the bullpen. New arm, Jacob Halford, to come in when we return here from Raleigh. Now this is the picture-perfect family moment. Friday night college baseball, the start of the new year in a top 10 ranked NC State Wolfpack club, leading by 11. And that young man's got a scheduled calendar. He knows tomorrow's game's at 2 o'clock, Sunday at 1. He's locked in to the ACC Network Extra. Yeah,
good to see a big Wolfpack fan young. The kids would look like they're badgering mom for probably their second funnel cake of the day.
He's saying, hey, there's the Bark in the Park night here. There's the firework night here. He's checking the whole calendar. So Jacob Halford, part of a young bullpen for NC State. 13 freshmen, 8 transfers, and Halford out of Gastonia, North Carolina. You ever been to a Gastonia Grizzlies summer collegiate game?
I have not, no.
One of the most entertaining environments in all of the Coastal Plains League. Built a brand new Metroplex ballpark, multi-purpose in Gastonia this summer. Simon Sherry, the top of this lineup for Evansville, checks in. Sherry had 16 doubles last year. Such a great extra base hit contributor. Out of one of the most unique towns in Indiana, Santa Claus, Indiana, at Heritage Hills High School.
Did not even know Santa Claus, Indiana was a thing.
There are only 6 states in the country that have a Santa Claus reference to them. I don't know all 6. I just read that online. It's your bingo question for Sunday. Fun fact from our director, Josh Monk. Jay Cutler, the quarterback, also from Santa Claus, Indiana. The things you learn watching Friday night college baseball. There's a lot going on. Halford on 2-1. Gives up a line drive to left. This could be trouble into the corner, and a 2-run shot for Whoa, no!
Wow.
How is that foul?
I'm not sure. I thought that was inside of the foul pole, but we'll have to get a second look at that.
That looks to be foul. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's where my depth perception never paid off as a kid.
Yeah.
That ball was smoked though by Sherry. Now the umpires are checking this over. Instant replay is available in this situation, but a conference begins.
Yeah, I think that was definitely foul, but probably good of these guys to go take a second look at this.
So the home plate umpire, Chief, wants to check this over. Gregory Street looking at our replay. Because my eyes were fooled. I know you were thinking the same thing off the bat.
Yeah, I think when it hit the edge of the wall there and kind of caromed, it looked like it had hit the foul pole, but looked at first glance like it was a fair ball.
Probably the only tricky corner at Doak Field is down to that left field line. This will be our best look right here. The longer this takes, the more you wonder if there's anything that could change this call.
Yeah, you seem to think the longer it takes that you have a better chance of changing it, but the more I see it, it seems like it's a foul ball. Man, that's tough though. It's the way it crossed over the wall there. It just makes it tough to tell from our angle.
Now it is an 11-run game. However, a call could be huge here. Let's see what the call is from Greg Street. Foul ball. By the way, the old school chest protector, put him on my upper echelon of umpires for Greg Street. Big fan. So with that, the count is 2-2 to Simon Sherry, who's probably, what, 5 feet away from his first home run of the season.
Yeah, that's always tough to come back from as a hitter, so hopefully he can finish this at bat off.
Halford looking to put away Sherry. Ouch. Cozart takes a piece. Jacob Cozart, the son of 2 college athletes who met at Central Florida. Mom and dad were baseball and volleyball standouts. His dad spent nearly a decade at High Point as the head coach of the Panthers. And watching his son thrive in his first career start behind the plate. Frames that pitch for ball 3. And what made that family dynamic neat was last spring, UCF and High Point met in the volleyball NCAA championships. The parents had a watch party with the whole family. They were together, and High Point actually won the matchup. So Craig at the time, who was the head coach at that point, he had the last laugh as this one's poked to left. And Halford finally gets his second out. Any bragging rights in the Kinnaman family? How does that unfold come out Thanksgiving weekend?
My older brother was a really good high school football player. So he actually, uniquely enough, he threw football right-handed as a quarterback and pitched left-handed. So he probably will try to claim he's more athletic than I.
That is the dream scenario, especially for kids. They have to throw right-handed and hit left. If you can do that, you're set for a scholarship.
Yeah, you can play shortstop, catcher, center field, you're set.
Brent Witter, a former shortstop at Evansville, now the second baseman, takes a heater towards the hands. He ripped a double back in the 6th, part of a 3-run 6th inning. Alford has his work cut out for him here in an 11-run ball game. And dots up the slider for strike 1.
Yeah, you like to see your freshman arm get out of his first collegiate inning. So hopefully you can make some pitches here and get him out of this.
Alford back to it. And dots up a base hit to left. That drops in front of Groover. Here comes Borgstrom with the ball is bobbled. That scores a run. A chance for two, and Jarrett can't get the tag. It's a one-out double for Brent Witter. And Evansville on the board in the 7th.
Hey, good job taking that breaking ball. And looked like Groover on that one was probably thinking he had a play at the plate and took his eye off it a little too soon, and unfortunately got away from him there.
This will be reviewed at second base. Did Witter hang on to the bag at second?
Yeah, when I watched it in real time, it looked like maybe JT got a tag on him as he was coming through. I didn't see him get back to him as he slid through the bag, but we'll have to see a replay.
The savvy senior tried his best, but this is such a tough call. There's really no perfect angle from a replay perspective. You'd almost think the first view from the umpire may be the best.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it feels like the call that's on the field is really hard to overturn unless it's just completely obvious that, you know, they made the incorrect call.
So at this point, Witter says, oh gosh, I think I have a double here. No tag there. Simultaneous. Now does the foot leave the base?
Yeah, I think he's safe, but it's hard to tell. It almost looks like the ball is in JT's bare hand there in his right hand, but
the old tag him with the glove but not have the ball in it trick. I don't see a way you can overturn that, right?
It looks like he's still off of him at that point, and then when he gets into the bag, he might have it on him for a second, but when he comes off the opposite side there, JT's off of him again.
Our crew does a tremendous job all season covering these games, but I don't see an angle or a perspective that can really overturn this. And I'll have to double check how it's officially ruled, but currently I'd say a double for Brent Witter. You could argue that Groover's got to make that play and things of that nature, but he earned the double.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that should probably be a double. This replay is taking longer than the last. Maybe they're seeing something that we aren't.
And we said that last time, and it ended up being the same call. You never know. I have inside sources telling us this replay is taking a little longer than expected. And here comes the call. So Evansville with the RBI double gets a big run on the board, and it's a good sign for this Aces offense. 4 runs on 8 hits.
Evan Berkey now homered in his last at bat. See if he can continue here.
That was essentially the final blow to Sam Heifels' first start. 5 1/3 of 3-run baseball. Some of these arms NC State's rolled out today. Baker Nelson, John Moralia, now Jacob Halford, not key names or household names last year, but they've been asked to step up, try to maintain this 10-run lead. And a 2-0 start does not help the dangerous Evan Berkey.
You'll have to be careful here. Probably stick with that breaking ball, but just not leave anything out over the plate.
Now the 2-0 is smoked down the left field line. Watch out, bullpen. A little friendly fire. Let's see if we find the baseball there. Oh, great work. A lot of space back there in left field.
Yeah, they've done a good job with that bullpen down there. It looks really good.
Sneak peek at Avon's Army sitting in the corner. They're heckling the bullpen. And a slider works the count even.
Yeah, nice pitch there by Halford.
Jacob Halford, the 13th ranked pitching prospect in North Carolina from Northern Guilford High School. A very dominant program in football, very good on the baseball side as well. Here's the 2-2. That rings up Berkey to end the inning. And the true freshman steps up with a punch out. It's time to stretch here in Raleigh. The Wolfpack arms out of the pen, getting the job done.
Today's Saturday Stretch Snack is brought to you by the North Carolina Peanut Growers Association. It's time to get on your feet and make some noise for your chance to win some free peanuts. Peanuts always a hit. All right, friends, it's time to sing along to Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Plenty of reasons to cheer for the NC State faithful today. A 14-run start offensively. NC State 10th ranked team coming into the country, and they're playing like it at the plate.
Yeah, they're living up to the preseason hype that they've gotten, and the offense has looked really good so far today.
Wolfpack with the breakout 7 runs in the second. They've added 2 more in the 5th, 4 in the 6th. Kind of odd last year. NC State only 13-12 at home. They struggled early in the year, 1-8 to begin the conference. And with a home schedule, 12 of the first 13 at home, a chance to start strong.
Yeah, it's an unorthodox year with you starting ACC ball a little earlier in the year, so a little bit of a tough start for the Wolfpack last year.
As Peyton Green smacks one foul. Brett, you had firsthand experience watching that team develop and grow as time goes on. What is the key to starting fast, or at least starting with a good record early on?
I think you got to get some good breaks early. Everybody's kind of getting into their groove, and I think it was one of those last year where inside the clubhouse everybody knew how good we could be, and you just kind of had to let it play out.
So Noah Souls gets hit by a pitch to begin the year. This is not something that an Elliott Avon offense likes to do. They ranked dead last in the ACC last year in getting hit by pitches. What they like to do is swing the bat for power. 92 home runs last year and already 4 today. There's a chance for 2, and it goes foul. Wow, Coach Hart's locked in at third base.
Yeah, he's having a good opening day himself.
Devontae Brown sporting 3 RBI, maybe the quietest 3 RBI game in his career, but productive at the plate. Of course, a big part of that was a bases clearing triple down the left field line. You don't see that every day, and it kick-started the second inning. Presco goes to the heater. Brown skies it into the night in Raleigh. And after a late read, Rumsey comes in to make the catch.
Yeah, that thing was way up there. It looked like Rumsey didn't see it right off the bat, but did a good job recovering on that, making the play.
We've seen outfielders from both teams, Brett, early in this game, have a little bit of trouble reading the ball late at night, into the clouds, into the sky. How do you work that out early in the season?
Yeah, it's tough. I would assume that maybe there's a little bit of a high sky going on earlier in the day. I think it's just the combination of the wind, and I'm sure with Evansville being in the cold, it's tough to get those reps early in the spring while the season's just getting going.
Groover goes right through that pitch and misses. Be neat to see this offense really clicking, and NC State's had the luxury of an offense that's had no trouble. 14 runs early. Groover's 1 for 4, but he's hit balls hard all day long, including a double back in the second.
Yeah, he had that tough luck out in his first at-bat. Nice line drive to right center field. So he's had good at-bats all day.
Garrett Presco continues his relief appearance and gives up another towards short. A chance for 2, and it's nutmegged. Goes through Sherry's legs. And a base hit for Groover. Moves Green in a scoring position.
Yeah, that thing must have had some weird spin on it. Looked like it kind of got on him a little quicker than he expected. It's unfortunate. It probably was a tailor-made double play there for Evansville.
And that face tells the story of a rough play there for Sherry. Interesting note, Evansville plays on a brand new turf field, fully installed this offseason, state-of-the-art facility. Does that play any bit of a factor on the turf versus the surface with the spin of the ball off the bat?
Yeah, absolutely. I think even on a nice natural surface like this, you don't get quite as true a hops as you'll get on a turf field. So I'm sure just kind of an in-between hop that you're not used to when you're taking ground balls consistently on turf.
That is ruled a base hit, so 15 hits for the Wolfpack. And the hit machine, Tommy White, smokes one foul coming off a 3-hit day.
Yeah, it looked like he was all over that too.
White has not been cheated at the plate. 2 home runs and a single in his NC State debut. Top-ranked recruit for Elliott Avent. Nice slider there for strike 2 from Presco.
Yeah, nice pitch.
Last time an NC State batter hit 3 home runs in a game. You have to go back quite some time. Chris Schaefer in 2010. 12 years in the making when White was barely 7-8 years old. Lays off the slider.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him here, but as Coach Hart had said before the game, he's got one of the better 2-strike approaches as well. So it'll be interesting to see him bat all the way here with 2 strikes.
Notice the wider stance from Tommy White, down 1-2. And Presco misses outside. It's a unique stance for White at the plate and makes it very tough for pitchers in this spot.
Yeah, you can see a guy spread out like that. It seems like he can foul off about anything. So it's interesting to see a big power hitter like this have such a unique 2-strike approach.
It's like my vinyasa yoga stretching in the morning. Really getting the most of his power. And White lays off the changeup, full count. The James Groover, a threat to steal. 20 swipes last year at Charlotte. Maybe not the spot to do it in a 10-run game, but always on the mind of Garrett Presco. The 3-2 is drilled through the left side for a base hit. 4 RBI in the debut for Tommy White.
Yeah, he can't do any wrong today. Just a good job of extending that at bat and putting the ball in play and letting something good happen.
NC State with runners in scoring position, their 9th hit of this game.
Yeah.
Tough go of it for Garrett Presco. He was asked to clean up with Donovan Schultz and Shane Gray, the starter. He allowed 10 runs in 4 innings of work. Now here comes Dominic Palali. Well, he's done his mollywop 2 home runs in the 2nd and the 5th. And we talked about a 3 home run game going back to 2010. This team has had multiple performances with 5 or more home runs, which is crazy to think. The last 5 home run game was actually last year against Alabama in the regional.
Yeah,
strike 1.
I feel like there's a lot of games here at the Doak where you can get a lot of home runs, and when the wind gets going like this, sometimes the ball just gets going out of here.
Wind quiet for now, but it was blistering at that 3 o'clock start, and the Wolfpack took advantage. Tommy White with a solo home run in the first inning, and they have led ever since. Time is called. Greg Street wants to do baseball for the pitcher, Garrett Presco, out of the pen.
Nice job by Horde there, keeping that in front and keeping those guys on first and second, keep the double play in order and give them a chance to get out of the inning here with 1 pitch.
Remember, Evansville, top 10 in the country in double plays turn, nearly 2 a game. Good defense for Coach Carroll defensively. Palali sitting on 2 home runs, lays off a breaking ball.
Yeah, I'm sure Sherry would love another ground ball to him at short here to make up for that tough play he had a few hitters ago.
And as a teammate of Palali, if you're in this spot in the dugout, he puts anything into the air, I imagine you're expecting a home run.
Yeah, might be helping blow it out a little bit.
Presco on 3-1, gives up a fly ball, and that drifts behind us. So 92 home runs for the Wolfpack last year. That finished 6th in the country behind Arkansas. They had 109 dingers. 4 home runs today is off to a good start offensively. One more chance here on 3-2. There's a line drive into right center. That is the gap written all over it. It rolls to the wall. 1 run scores. White unhitches the trailer at third, and he's in on the stand-up double by Dominic Palali.
What an opening day for Dom Palali. Looked like just a fastball out over the middle of the plate there, full count. Doing a good job of staying within himself there and not trying to do too much. Yeah, it looks like he just did a good job of staying out on that thing. And sometimes with full count, you try to do a little bit too much. He did a really good job there.
How about this performance for Palali? 2 home runs and a 2 RBI double. He has done none wrong offensively. 3 hits and 5 runs batted in.
Yep, and then gets a pinch runner and gets his day over with early. So nice job for Palali on opening day.
So his day is done. Chase Nixon, the freshman at Wilmington, checks in. By the way, I spent much of my offseason watching One Tree Hill reruns, and I tell you, Wilmington's very highly featured.
Yeah, it's a good place. I love going down to Wilmington.
UNCW actually the favorite in the Colonial this year. Won the regular season but lost in the tournament title. Coach Randy Hood taking over that program. 2nd year as the head coach. And Josh Hood gets backed up on a fastball. Wolfpack will host Wilmington April 12th and then go to the wonderful city in Wilmington May 10th for a midweek game. Wouldn't be surprised if you find your way on the bus down there for that contest.
Yeah, I'd love to make my way down there for that one.
That's a busy month for NC State in May. The Radford Highlanders, the mighty Radford Highlanders, start the month on May 1st. And then UNC and Duke are sandwiched in between. There's a base hit for Josh Hood. And his 3rd hit of the day puts runners at 1st and 3rd.
Yeah, a lot of good days from these NC State newcomers. So exciting to see these fresh faces doing well for NC State on opening day.
And that forces a call to the bullpen. Kierce Kimball brings in the 4th arm of the game for Evansville. This has gotten out of hand offensively. 17 runs on 17 hits for the Wolfpack. They put on a Friday night home run party in this ballpark. We'll have more baseball after this on ACC Network Extra. New arm for Evansville, Kieran Hall out of Perth, Australia. You may have seen his face before. Little League standout, the 2013 Little League All-Star for Team Australia. Now he comes in for his debut appearance for Evansville. Transfer from Three Rivers College in Missouri, sliding up from the JUCO ranks. So he's not afraid of the national TV spotlight. And he faces an NC State offense that's put on Hall of Fame-like numbers, 17 runs on 17 hits.
I believe before the game they were telling us he pitched for the national team a little bit too, so he's got to experience it when he was young and now as he's been a bit older too.
Jacob Cozart, part of that talented freshman class. You see the 2 hits, including a double back in the 7th. Goes to that one. You look at this lineup, every batter but Noah Souls has reached base today for NC State. And he's coming up in just a minute as that pitch gets away.
Yeah, they've done a good job, and even as the game's gotten a bit out of hand here in the past inning or so, they've done a good job of just continuing to have good at-bats. I know sometimes it's hard to stay engaged, but they've done a really good job.
Here's the 3-1. And a walk to Jacob Cozart, so the bases are loaded here for JT Jarrett.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with these freshmen's ability to control the strike zone and seem like they have a really good approach from day one. So that's got to be exciting for Coach Hart and those guys to see early.
A lot of offense so far and a chance to break this game open for JT Jarrett. You had a feeling that this offense would come to play early, especially with the expectations as a top 10 team, but that 7-run second inning just set the tone for the rest of the day. And Jarrett with that high leg kick and all watches a strike.
Very comfortable for a hitter when you got an 8-run lead and you can kind of settle in on opening day and just hopefully have some good at-bats. So it's obviously paid some dividends for these guys.
How about this opening day surprise? Long Beach State goes into Starkville and wins 3-0 over Mississippi State to start the season. Mad respect for the Big West Conference.
Yeah, it's impressive. You make that cross-country flight and beat the defending national champion.
And Starkville's a party, not just in the College World Series time of the year, but come the regular season. That is an awesome environment, much like what we've seen today in Raleigh early in this game. Jarrett awaits the 1-1 and pokes it foul. Wolfpack would love to get back to Omaha, a place where they were within a game of possibly playing Mississippi State in the College World Series Finals.
Yeah, heartbreaking way for the year to end last year, but obviously exciting if you're a Wolfpack fan and seeing this on opening day.
Hard to replicate this offense tomorrow for a 2 o'clock start, but certainly ideal if you're Coach Avent. This might add another run that gets away from Horde, and it's 18-4 on the pass ball. Actually, wild pitch, in fact.
Yeah, 17 hits and 4 or 5 home runs makes it pretty easy to write a lineup card the next day.
In year 26, Elliot Avent could not have drawn up a better offensive start to the season opener. Kieran Hall rocks the best mustache at Evansville staff. Now looks to escape this jam. And nearly hits Jarrett. And that's what I talk about when you say this NC State team doesn't like to get hit by pitches. There are many programs where that would be a hit batter in a bases loaded situation, and here Jarrett wants to swing, continue his at bat. So he spoils the 3-2. Freshman versus senior. Hall in his debut outing brings the 3-2. And misses inside. He went around. Rung up by Ryan Clark for the second out.
It's another tough one where the location of the pitch just kind of makes it tricky for that guy to hold up. I'm not sure. It's hard to say on that one if he went or not.
What do you think here?
Yeah, I think he did. I didn't see that quick bat twitch in real time, but looks like he probably went on that one.
Credit to our crew there with the call. So NC State goes to the bench. Eddie Eisert checks in. Played in 7 games, couple of starts last year.
Yeah, Eddie's exciting. He's got some crazy power, so it'll be fun to see him getting that bat right here.
These are the moments where you learn about the depth of a program, and for NC State replacing 6 starters. Eisert, who had multiple pitch hit at-bats, especially in conference play, now looks to dial it in here off the bench. The challenge, of course, if you're Elliott Avent, how do you make that lineup card tomorrow with so many different contributors stepping up and collecting hits?
Yeah, I think on opening weekend you like to try to get a lot of guys opportunities to get their feet wet, but it's hard to take anybody out of the lineup after a day like today.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. There's a strike for the Perth Australian product. Noah Souls exited the ball game 0 for 4 at the plate, the lone Wolfpack player yet to reach. Let's see if Eisert can fill his shoes on 3-1. Count works full. Oh, look at that catch. Top section of the Army. So the glove comes in handy right there.
Yeah. Did he go over the edge of the fence? I wasn't paying attention there.
He was close. Heck of a catch at the wall, right up in front of you. That's not an easy play. And a walk is issued to Eisert to load the bases. Maybe the best catch we've seen all day.
Absolutely.
So if you're keeping track at home, the second time NC State has hit through the lineup today. And this sets the stage for Peyton Green. We talk about freshmen sliding into big spots. Well, Green's got a big opportunity, replacing Jose Torres at that shortstop position.
Yeah, you think about the shortstops NC State's had in the past 5-6 years, and it's just been an incredible run. So Peyton looks to add on to that list, and he's certainly looked the part so far today.
Green also has a double, reached base 3 times today. This will be a tough play for Berkey. In time. Oh. So that strands the bases loaded. Berkey had every last second to hold on to it. And with that, the side's retired. So NC State adds 4 more to its lead as we go to the 8th. The Wolfpack lead by 14. Previewing the rest of the weekend here at Doak Field at Dale Park. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, right back at it for Game 2 of the series. Then the finale wraps up. First ever meeting between these programs. And it's been all NC State so far, but something to be said about teams bouncing back tomorrow and Sunday.
Yep, absolutely. It's one game, one day, so Evans will obviously looking to bounce back tomorrow and Sunday and try to even up the series tomorrow.
A lot of scarves and sweaters and beanies for this time of the year. That opening weekend, temperatures dipping towards the high 40s, low 50s right now. It was 22 degrees in Evansville this week. So definitely nice to be in some warmer waters across the country. And Tristan Sipple comes out of the bullpen for his debut outing. What does Sipple bring to the table for NC State?
Sipple, as of last year, just had a lot of really good potential. He'll be 90-92 left-handed, pretty good breaking ball. I believe he's fastball, breaking ball, but yeah, it's a lively fastball and a pretty good slider.
5 2/3 innings of work out of the bullpen last year in 6 outings. So he faces the heart of this lineup, Eric Roberts at DH, 4.56. Come on, get your kicks. You don't need money when you look like that, do you, honey? As that slider misses outside. There's a big hack from Roberts, who's 2 for 3, 2 of the 8 hits for Evansville today.
Yeah, Evansville's done a nice job in the middle innings, kind of clawing back and just having some really good at-bats.
This might stay in the field of play. Hood goes behind the mound. Makes an acrobatic catch. That is not easy. That deep breath was important.
Yeah, nice job hanging on there. It's a tough play when that thing's way up there like that.
We've seen both teams struggle with pop flies tonight, so Josh Hood snags it down. Helps to be a Penn Quaker. That Ivy League education here gets him in the right spot.
That thing almost snuck out of his glove there for a second.
Tanner Craig takes the slider for strike 1. Craig barreled one up in the 6th inning, his first hit of the season. He led Evansville last year in home runs and runs batted in. Preseason all-conference in the Missouri Valley. It's a hard one towards short. And 2 quick outs for Sipple out of the pen.
Yeah, nice job by Sip there, and looks like Peyton Green and Tommy White have a connection going that I guess we'll go for a few more years.
You'd certainly hope, for NC State's sake. Both freshmen, both have had big days at the plate. Just can't imagine to see what White's props are tomorrow. You look at this freshman class behind the plate with Cozart, the shortstop, and the first baseman, all brand new to this program. And that's the reason why NC State, in many polls, including D1 baseball, is ranked 10th overall.
Yeah, they've had a good knack of bringing in these young, good players year after year, and I think this recruiting class is just as exciting, if not more, than the past few years.
The question is how does that talent develop, and what does this team look like come April and May as Schallenberg rolls one foul?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how guys will react once the lights come on, so I think as we've talked about a little bit today, it's been good for them to see those guys play well today, and obviously it's just one game, but it's always good to get off to a good start.
NC State, the lone ranked club to score 10 or more runs today, one of those nuanced numbers that pops in. Later in the ACC tonight, Notre Dame kickstarts their season. Number 1 Texas opens up at 7:30 tonight against Rice. 2 historically dominant programs. Tristan Sipple searching for a 1-2-3 inning. And he's got it with the fastball. So NC State's pitching staff, 5 different arms, and they've gotten the job done. 8 strikeouts for the Wolfpack. New arm Jace Christen out of the Evansville bullpen. Christening his debut outing. 13 appearances last year. The ERA a bit elevated in limited innings. As you can tell, control a big issue for the left-hander here.
Hopefully we'll get off to a good start this year for Christen.
How does he do that? Because you look at the scoreboard, it's a 14-run game. There's not a lot to play for. How do you find your rhythm and comfort?
I think a lot of times, a coach probably finds a good opportunity to get a guy into a, relatively low-stress situation and hopefully get his feet under him. And sometimes all it takes is one good inning, one good at-bat, and, a switch can flip. So hopefully that's the case for Christen.
Christen would love to replicate his 2020 success pre-COVID. Mostly as a reliever, had an ERA below 3 last year, a bit elevated this season. So a new challenge. Back to the top of the order. We've said that a ton today. 5th appearance for Devontae Brown. Wolfpack with 18 runs. They're going toe-to-toe with Virginia Tech, who also has 18 runs tonight, playing UNC Asheville. So plenty of offense to open up this college baseball season. We've rolled a ton of packages today, but Brett, as a hitter, when you see this production with doubles and triples and home runs, how much does that infuse the confidence of an offense?
Yeah, I think hitting is very contagious. So you see guys having success, and it kind of rolls its way down the lineup. So it's good to see for the NC State Wolfpack.
Christen checks the top of the zone, so 1-2 to Devontae Brown. Last season, this Wolfpack offense, they really scored in bunches. 8 runs a game as a team, and they've doubled that tonight. Keep in mind, when the Wolfpack scored 10 or more runs, which doesn't happen every single day. They did it 15 times.
They've done a really good job of extending at bats and being good with 2 strikes. I don't know off the top of my head, but I can't think of any strikeouts that they've had today.
Now the 1-2. Brown shoots one out to left. Borgstrom took a bad read on it, makes the catch. Borgstrom makes a nice play recovering on the baseball and saves extra bases.
Hey, great play there. It's tough when it's right at you. You can't really tell on depth, but that's a good play and just a tough luck out for Devontae Brown, but good swing there.
Heck of a catch in front of the Omaha sign in left field. We told you coming in, Evansville defense really good, and Borgstrom makes it happen.
Yeah, it's always tough to judge those that are right at you. He did a really nice job of going back on that thing.
So James Groover, 1 for 5, digs back in. So that was ruled a fielder's choice back in the 7th, his last time when he reached. And Christen lost his balance on the rubber.
Look at his cleat got stuck in the clay going down the mound there.
Looked like both cleats had some trouble, in fact.
Yeah. Fresh clay on that mound, a little sticky maybe.
So 2-0 the count. And Christen finds his breaking ball. Well, James Groover, sort of a utility standout for Elliott Avent this year. Be fascinating to see where he plays, where in the lineup he sits, and how they maximize his ability. A base hit doesn't hurt the cause either. Second hit of the day for Groover. And the Wolfpack now 18 runs on 18 hits.
Yeah, you get a couple hits a day, and you'll find a place to play in the lineup. So I'm sure it'll be interesting to see where he fits in.
I see what you did there with the rhyme, by the way.
Yeah, I don't even know if I did it on purpose.
Because I always thought it was the apple a day that keeps the doctor away. But hey, a couple of hits a day keeps in the lineup every day. I like that too. Groover was a multi-hit machine at Charlotte. He had 20 games with multiple hits, so this is nothing new. And in comes big bad home run hitting Tommy White. 4 hits in his NC State debut. And every time he makes contact, you just sit back and hold your breath.
Yeah, he's been super aggressive all day, and on top of that, been really good with 2 strikes too. So just an exciting hitter for NC State fans to get to watch for a few more years.
Look at those numbers. Already 4 RBI. He's been assertive. Second pitch of his career, he sent over the center field wall. And might have another. This is a towering shot to center field and a 3-home run day in Tommy White's debut. It had been since 2010 a Wolfpack player hits 3 home runs, and White does it in his very first game.
All 3 to dead center field too. That's some serious power. Good to see this again.
Instant impact offensively.
Yeah, he's just, like I said, done a great job of being aggressive, and then here it looks like either a breaking ball or a changeup of some sorts, and just getting his hands inside of that thing and driving that thing out to center field. Just an incredible talent.
Certainly helps if you're replacing 6 hitters and 80% of your offense from last year. You can find Tommy White with 6 RBI and 3 dingers.
It seems like he's making up for the slack a little bit himself. So, such an exciting thing for NC State to see these guys flourish on opening day.
There's a slow roller up the middle. Tough test with his defense. And a nice play. Witter's all over it. So that retires the Wolfpack pitch hitter in that spot, Chase Nixon, who was a defensive sub earlier.
Yeah, if you're a big Yankees or Red Sox fan on the cast today, that's son of Trot Nixon, a great Red Sox right fielder for many years.
We told you earlier about Wes Carroll and his brother Jamie joining the staff. A longtime big leaguer of 6 organizations. Those two reunite in Evansville to lead this program, and the Wolfpack with some young MLB talent themselves coming up the pipeline. But the story of the day is right there in the middle. Tommy White, the first 3 home run game for a Wolfpack hitter since 2010.
Yeah, just an incredible way to start off your NC State career or college career at any school for that matter.
Brett, you've been in these moments as a teammate. How do you treat a player who's that infectious and hitting so well offensively? Do you treat him like a pitcher with a no-hitter?
I think so, yeah. I think sometimes, there's times where it's like a hitter, he can't keep this up, and then in turn they don't keep it up. So I think you just kind of let them, do their thing and hopefully continue. Obviously not going to hit 3 home runs for 56 games this year, but hopefully he can keep up where he started today.
You saw Marcy check in at the plate. Elliott Avent clearing out his bench late in this game. Will Marcy, the freshman from Raleigh and of Crossroads Flex High School. It's a roster that has made a living in the state of North Carolina. Nearly 70% of the roster ingrown.
Yeah, there's so many good baseball players in North Carolina, so they've done a good job of taking advantage of that.
It's a tight recruiting race between State and Duke for the best impact freshman as that sneaks through the middle. 20th hit for NC State, and it comes for the Raleigh freshman. Marcy picks it up. More hitters checking in late in this game, as to be expected here in the 8th. And Jacob Godman, the catcher from Vegas, out of Palo Verde College of Southern Nevada. It's interesting because NC State loses a starting catcher last season. Luke Tresh goes. You bring in new faces. We've seen what Cozart can do. Godman's also part of that rotation of catchers that'll mix in.
Yeah, it's tough to place for a guy like Tresh, but obviously Cozart's done a good job today.
And a base hit in his debut won't hurt. We've said that so many times today. New players, new faces, and finding hits. Coach Avent going to his bench one more time. It's an infectious energy that's somewhat hard to bottle up and spread out to the rest of the weekend. How do you do it if you're NC State?
Yeah, I always felt it hard as a player when you have games like this to come back the next day. I feel like it always is a little dead, but I think with opening weekend and guys just being excited to get back out there, it shouldn't be an issue for them this weekend.
So D'Angelo Giles slides in, sophomore at a High Point, North Carolina. Listen to some of the names: freshman, sophomore, freshman, sophomore. It's a young roster for Coach Avent. 13 freshmen, 8 transfers. Now, clearly, once you're on the scouting report, it becomes a lot tougher, but so far, really no answers for Evansville. This ball's got a chance to center. Rumsey loses track of it and drops in front of the left fielder, Bergstrom. That cashes in a couple of runs. Chance to clear him. And both runs score. So a 22 spot for NC State.
Yeah, it looks like he probably lost that. It's a tough time of the night for fly balls when that ball gets above those lights, and it's just not quite dark yet. It's sometimes tough to track those fly balls.
If you're keeping track at home, and if you are, credit to you. 5 home runs, 8 doubles, and a triple. That's 14 extra base hits.
Yeah, it's a heck of a start.
So with that, the lineup continues to turn around. Eisert digs in. You do wonder, a learning moment for Ty Rumsey, the freshman, lost it in the lights there and nearly caught by Borgstrom, which would have been incredible.
I think sometimes as an outfielder there, it's almost easier just to stay put when you lose it than to run whichever direction you might think it is.
So 4 runs in the last 3 innings, 4 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, and 4 more in the 8th. What an offensive display. There's a base hit and a chance for more. Holding at third is Giles, so first and third with 2 outs, and the hit parade continues. This day offensively is so unique that the last time the Wolfpack scored at least 21 runs in a game, you have to go back 2019, so it's been 3 years and a long time coming. And Green smacks one to right center. That might cash in both. The freshman with his second hit of the day. Here comes the runner from third, and it's 24-4 on what continues to be an extra base hit party, the 9th double for NC State.
Another extra base hit and another freshman having an extra base hit. These freshmen have been really, really good for NC State today.
A big inning continues, and this is starting to really add up if you're NC State. These numbers are incredible, Brent. 13 hits with men in scoring position.
And not to mention you're 9 for 16 with 2 outs. You know, you score runs with 2 outs, and that's kind of an indicator of a winning recipe. So they've done a great job today.
This inning started what feels like hours ago. Devontae Brown lined out to left field. Now with 2 outs, he takes a strike. I'm running out of superlatives, but the Wolfpack have now hit around in the order 3 times today in the first 8 innings. Tough task for Jace Christen out of the bullpen.
Doing a nice job getting ahead here and doing a nice job of sticking with it. I think he's made some good pitches. These NC State hitters are just on it today. But overall, it looks like he's got pretty good command of fastball and breaking ball.
Here's the 0-2 to Devontae Brown, who's 1 for 5. Able to spoil it. To your point, many at-bats where Brown could have been struck out, and he's grinded his way through.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of NC State hitters today have just been fighting off that tough pitch and then getting that mistake and not missing it. So it's been hard on these Evansville pitchers.
Shane Gray, the starter, gave up 10 runs in 4 innings, and it's not gotten much better since. The best part, if you're Evansville, tomorrow Nick Smith, who had the best fall and spring of any starter for Evansville, takes the bump. He looks to bounce back against Matt Willardson, who was tremendous in tournament and regional time.
Yeah, it should be another exciting pitching matchup.
There's a swing and a miss for Brown. And that ends a big, impactful 8th inning. 6 runs for NC State, including the home run party for Tommy White. The Wolfpack are cooking here in the season opener.
The bottom of the 8th inning, the Wolfpack was 6 runs on 7 hits. No errors and leave 1 on base. Don't forget, fans, the Wolfpack will be right back in action tomorrow for Game 2 of the weekend series against Evansville, right here in Doak Field at Dale Park. First pitch is set for 2 p.m. For more information, visit GoPack.com. Also, fans, after tonight's game, be sure and head over to Reynolds Coliseum and support Wolfpack Wrestling. The meet starts at 7 p.m.
Well, the offense is pretty clear. NC State's bats have come to play. 24 runs on 24 hits. And Brett Kinnaman, what an ideal start for this Wolfpack attack.
Yeah, Peyton Green here. I think Tommy White's gotten a lot of love today, but he's had a heck of a day, too, for his first NC State game here in Raleigh.
Time for both teams to clear the benches, but you do see a starter back out there at shortstop. Mr. Green, freshman shortstop's had a nice day at the plate. Peyton doubled his last time up, and now 3 outs from a win. There's a base hit for Evansville. So a leadoff single, and that's a good swing for Brendan Horde, his second hit.
Yeah, he's looked solid at the plate today. He's had some good at-bats.
This is against a new arm out of the NC State bullpen, Wynn Scott, the freshman left-hander. These are the quality innings where Coach Avent can figure out who he has in that middle to back end tier of the pen.
Yeah, these kinds of games are good opportunities to get guys out there and see what they've got.
An Evansville offense that does have 4 runs on 9 hits. Not a bad day by any means. Borgstrom would love to extend the game as he takes a strike. Have to dive through the record books. We mentioned White with the 3 home run game, scoring 24 runs in a contest. That's been at least the last 5 years and maybe a few more. Here's a chopper to first. White just gets the leadoff man. So 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, nice job there. It looked like a pretty close play at second base, but nice job getting the lead out.
So what do you think of Tommy White defensively, former third baseman, getting the job done at first?
Yeah, he looks solid. I mean, he hasn't had too many tricky plays so far today, but he's doing the part over there, and you can play defense anywhere if you're going to hit 3 home runs, that's for sure.
I think Coach Avent can hide him in the lineup somewhere.
Yeah.
Not only sitting on 3 home runs, but 3 balls to basically the same spot in dead center field. That's taken outside for ball 2 against Wynn Scott, who is the Metro 4A Player of the Year at Ragsdale High School, just outside of Jamestown, North Carolina. The best note about Wynn Scott, he's an Eagle Scout. Just accomplished that feat in high school a year ago, as that's bobbled and in there safely. The ball gets away from Scott. And a tough play there for Tommy White.
Just as we say, there wasn't that many tough plays outside of the field. He gets a really tough one there.
You're learning the broadcast business very quickly here, Brett Kinnaman.
Yeah, speaking everything into existence.
So first error of his career. Certainly helps when you're 5 for 6 of the plate with 6 runs batted in.
Absolutely.
So after Tristan Sipple gets the job done with an inning scoreless, here's Wynn Scott, 2 outs away from a victory. NC State has won 18 of their last 25 openers under Elliott Avent, but maybe none more offensive-minded than what we've seen today. That is down for a base hit. Sherry extends the game with an extra base hit. That cashes in the lead runner, Borgstrom, and it's 24-5.
Yeah, these Evansville hitters are doing a good job, just sticking with it, having good at-bats. I think you've got to be encouraged if you're Coach Carroll seeing these at-bats just grinding away throughout the end of the game here.
That just sneaks fair. And Evansville with its 10th hit. That got by Eisert, the third baseman, who we want to note picked up his first career base hit last inning. That was a big moment for Eisert. Remember your first hit, Brett?
I do, yeah. I had an infield hit here against Boston College. Not that memorable of a hit, but I'll never forget it, that's for sure.
One more test, and that gets down for a single. So station to station, a second run, and the ball gets away from Marcy. So that moves the runner down to second in Whiter, who has a 3-hit game.
Yeah, he's having a nice day. Got the second there, stays out of the double play, so unless something crazy here happens, they're going to get 2 outs the hard way.
I want to see the ESPN win probability of this game with 1 out and an 18-run difference. It would be very minuscule. Nonetheless, Wynn Scott has to get 2 more outs to end this thing. And if you're Elliott Avent, it gives you some motivation and juice to talk about the negatives from this game, as a coach always finds a way to do. Evan Berkey 1 for 4 in his debut, the Cal State Bakersfield transfer. Mashed a home run in the 6th inning off of Sam Heifel, who's in line for the win. This will stay in the park. Marcy goes back. Eisert comes in, and it's the shortstop, Green, who makes the catch.
A nice play there by Peyton Green. I've always thought that play right there is always easier for the shortstop coming across, so nice job there taking control and making that play.
A lot of changes defensively for NC State. Groover moves to right. Eisert goes into left. And Giles will play second base, so Elliott Avent clearing out his bench with 2 gone by. And Godman's behind the plate as well, so Cozart's day is done. The last chance for the Evansville Aces. Eric Roberts digs in. He's 2 for 4 today. We have 37 combined hits.
It's crazy for an opening day game.
Video game-like numbers here at Doak Field at Dale Park. And with the weather warm, the wind blowing out tomorrow at 2 o'clock, could be even more offensive-minded. If you came for pitching, maybe not the place to be.
Yeah, as a former hitter, it's fun to watch, but I'm sure if you're a pitcher, it's not your favorite thing to see.
NC State had 14 hits of runners in scoring position today. There's too much offense as that walk loads the bases for Roberts. This is Wynn Scott's game to finish. He is the 6th pitcher for NC State today after Sam Heifel went 5 1/3, and Coach Avent counting down the moments to a season opening win.
Yeah, you'd like to see Wynn Scott be able to get this last out right here.
This fly ball is dangerous to left field. Eisert with room, and that wraps up a season opening victory for the Wolfpack. 24 runs on 24 hits. About as perfect as it could be offensively. The Wolfpack dominate on home turf. That's a big offensive performance.
Yeah, it's a heck of a job. I mean, it's what you hope for as NC State's coaching staff, to see the offense come out like that and perform at such a high level on opening day.
Star of the game, clearly Tommy White. The chains were popping. 5 hits, 3 home runs.
Yeah, he did such a good job today, like we've said all night, of just being aggressive and going after those fastballs, and he got a hold of 3 of them.
6 runs batted in the debut for Tommy White. You have to go back to 2010, the last time a slugger for NC State. 3 home runs, 1 cleared the camera well in center field. He did it all for the Wolfpack. For Brett Kinnaman, I'm Evan Budrovich saying good night from Raleigh. The Wolfpack offense, look at those numbers. 24 runs. They moved to 1-0 on the season. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock for Game 2. The Aces and the Wolfpack here on the ACC Network Extra.